Hey guys, welcome to the Matburn podcast, episode 18.
I'm back, bitches.
This is the return of the Keenan episode.
Yep.
And he's looking...
And Josh has been very upset at my sabbatical.
You're looking uglier than ever before.
Yeah.
Ever.
Oh, I didn't. Shit. I forgot to turn on the video, but it's okay.
Me too.
Start your video.
Me too, actually.
Here we are.
So we have a new video set up where we're using the cell phones to catch ourselves.
And just a quick 1, 2, 3 clap situation. You got to do it too.
1, 2, 3.
So I got to link those somehow.
Okay, so here we are, episode 18. How many episodes you been gone for? Last one we did together was 10 with Craig.
You're on episode 18.
I'm on 18, bro. I've been working. You've been doing nothing except oozing pus out of your eye.
Well, as I was trying to explain to you when we got in our Facebook argument earlier, I had no choice but to leave.
I understand. I understand you had to go get good training. I get that. I understand.
I had to leave.
Is that so? I had a question for you. Did Homo really take some pressure for the things you said on episode 10? And did he actually ask you to not train there or?
Because that was when I left, huh? The whole
episode 10 was when you made those inflammatory statements.
Well, they're not inflammatory. If you actually look at what I said, what was inflammatory was the headline that got passed around Brazil that no one translated and then Brazil didn't listen to the podcast.
I think Kaiwan is here in the U.S., not Brazil.
He's in England.
Did he ever come to your academy?
Not yet, but my academy's not open yet, so he'll probably be there opening day.
So I was thinking,
yes, Homolo took heat for it, yeah.
Right, and is that why you chose to go?
No. So we smoothed things over because he called me.
Because he's a reasonable human being.
Yeah, he called me and asked me to explain because there's a miscommunication throughout the community because of that headline. Mm-hmm. And I explained it to him, and he was like, "Oh, well, you need to explain it to
the
those
public."
Guys. Yeah, so
and that's when you made that video.
So I made a video explaining it to him, and then I got the all clear from the higher ups within the organization, so I could train there.
Okay,
but I decided to go to New York because I wanted to do Pan Ams anyways as a warm up.
Oh yeah,
and
I forgot you did that.
And I wanted to go train with John a little bit too because I was getting good training at Homolos, but I also felt that I needed to
mix it up,
sharpen up my game out there too. And my original plan was to come back and finish up the camp at Homolos the last 2 weeks, but that's when I got my eye infection. I had got it worse than anyone for whatever reason. I think because my immune system was probably weak from stress and travel and all this stuff.
Yeah, travel sucks.
But I just got wrecked by it, man.
Well, so if you're on the worst phase of it is day 5 to 10.
Yeah.
That's the worst. And I think that's right where you were during ADCC.
Yeah,
right?
the 4 days before ADCC was when I was in the worst. So I couldn't even open either of my eyes.
You were in we call it the blind phase.
Yeah, I was basically completely blind, and I couldn't do anything. I couldn't order food on my phone.
Yeah, light sensitivity just burns
I couldn't
your
go
eyeballs.
outside. I couldn't be around people. I couldn't do anything. I was literally in solitary confinement in my apartment. And that's to set in as I was getting on the airplane. So as I was getting on the airplane, I had to tape my eye shut on the airplane to just contain its disgustingness. And so I get off the airplane, I'm barely make it to my house, unable to see.
Imagine if you were just a huge dick and you rubbed your fingers all over your eyes and just walked around the airplane touching everything.
No, and so I asked the doctor, I was like, can I fly with this? Is it morally okay to get on an airplane? And she was like, yeah, just make sure to wash your hands and don't touch your eye. So I went to the CVS and got a bunch of eye supplies and plastered up my face and cleaned everything and taped it up really good with a bandage because it was only in one eye at the time.
Right.
And then so I get off the plane ride. It's only 5 hours, so it held up, and I just made sure to wash my hands and stuff.
As long as you use common sense, it's pretty easy to not spread it. No one in my house got it. I had it for 3 weeks, and no one in my house got it. And it's a small apartment, bro. We have
it's pretty much body contact. You have to be physically touching someone usually, but it can be spread through door handles. If your hand goes from your eye to the door and their hand goes from the door to your eye, you're probably going to get it.
Right.
So. But it's just so violent to your body.
I'm really excited to see Mateus come out with it in about 1 week from now.
Well, my reasoning too is obviously I thought can I still compete with this?
Right.
Because I didn't know the severity of it or what it was really. I thought it was just normal pink eye. Then they said
you thought viral. I was being a little bitch when I had it. And now you're realizing I was actually a hero.
So what I thought was that it was just excessively long. Like, you just had it for so long. I was like, how does it last so long? That's crazy. And I just assumed it was a mildly irritating eye thing because your eye looked kind of swollen, was tearing, but you could see, and you just wore sunglasses, which I assumed was to like prevent other people from seeing your eye. But I have to wear sunglasses.
No, yeah, it helps with that light sensitivity.
Like I have to wear sunglasses or it's incredibly uncomfortable. And today I actually had I had to go get like a little almost emergency procedure done to like have something taken out of my eye.
The semen?
No, Josh. A pseudomembrane. What it's called.
Sounds like semen. It's almost semen.
So basically, your eye can form like a protective barrier, trying to like contain the virus from the rest of your body.
You would think our bodies are smarter than this.
Well, viruses just have evolved alongside humans, and they just live inside humans.
But our body's reacting in a way that's actually detrimental to us.
Yeah,
which is weird, right?
But I think it's like reacting that way because it's not trying to cure the virus; it's trying to just cut it off from the rest of your body. Like, fuck the eye, it's gone.
It's like, we want this virus gone, and if your eye has to go with it, okay.
It just like for survival. It's more of a survival than like a cure.
That's why we have two.
Yeah, and so the inflammation and stuff is usually not beneficial to the healing of it. But back in the day, you didn't heal. You either died or you lost your eye, and that was
if you broke your finger came off.
Yeah, infections are dead.
Right.
Man.
If you got a cut on your leg and it got gangrene.
Yeah,
gangrenous.
You're done.
Leg comes off.
What was the average life expectancy? Like 25 or something? 20, maybe 30?
Probably more than
before.
30. Probably more than 30.
Well, I guess it depends on what era you're talking about. But yeah, I'm on day. I got symptoms on the 15th, so it's been 15 days, and my eyes probably.
Yeah, one more week, buddy.
Yeah, I would say my eyes only improved by 50%.
Every day will be a very small incremental improvements.
Right, but it kept getting worse until 5 days ago.
Yeah.
Like, it was so
I'm telling you, day 10 is the worst. It's like it climbs for 10 days and then it decreases for 10 days.
God,
and that's the ride you're on, bro.
I was going crazy, man. Like, I felt like I was going to have a psychological breakdown from the isolation and the darkness.
So imagine this. Imagine having this and being 3 weeks out from a super fight in Kasai.
I wouldn't have done it. I don't know why you did it.
Because I don't know. I just didn't want to pull out.
Because you're a hard ass and you think like you had to tough it out. But at certain things you shouldn't tough out. You should just be like,
the thing is, it healed. It was healed by the time I fought.
Oh, okay.
And Mateus. I had it for 3 weeks, and then I had 1 week back at Autos, but really Wednesday was my travel day, so I only had 2 days. So it was completely cleared up when I had the fight. I just had zero training. But it wasn't zero training. I was running. I would go outside and run and just let my eye water and cry and drip all over my face. I'd be like running, and I could just feel the tears running down my face. And
I couldn't even go work out. I was thinking, like, should I try and keep staying in shape for this? Like, if it's gonna heal.
It's hard because that suppresses your immune system.
Yeah.
Right. You work out, your immune system.
So that's what a few people told me is like, if you work out, you're probably gonna make it worse right now.
And maybe that's why I had it for 4 weeks.
And I didn't want to spread it in a gym. Because it's the way they described it is that if I touch something, someone else can get it, and it's so contagious. Like, it could cause like hundreds of people or more to get infected if you go anywhere. So I was trying not to.
And yet here you are in my house touching my microphone.
Well, now it's like a lot better, and I just came from the doctor where they sterilized my eye with iodine.
They put iodine?
Yeah, apparently that's like a sort of off-label
cure.
No.
Yeah, so I had this discussion with an optometrist, and he seemed kind of kooky, and I was like. He's like, yeah, we can do the iodine thing. And he described it to me, and I was like really on the fence about it. Because he's like, you're going to suffer for like 3 days, but it's going to speed up the process.
Yeah. So apparently they put some sort of iodine in your eye, and it kind of just kills the surface virus.
Right. Kills the whole surface layer of your eye, which is where the virus is hanging out.
Yeah. So it just sort of nukes your eye and significantly lowers the viral colony.
So they put the iodine in today?
I've had it in twice now.
So that's what they were scraping out of your eye, is the dead tissue? The eye tissue that gets burned?
No, it's different. So you can get the pseudomembrane even if you don't use iodine. It's just part of the adenovirus. Your body just reacts to it that way. Sometimes, not all the time.
Interesting.
It's rare in this, but I got it. I've had I've had it the worst. They said it was the worst case they've ever seen, but that's what everyone who went to a doctor who had it. Their doctors also said that. They said it was the worst case that they've ever seen. So whatever strain this is just bad.
It's evolving.
Yeah, what's so crazy, it doesn't seem like very many people actually know what it is. Even the eye doctors, it takes them a while to figure it out.
Yeah.
And then I had to tell them about like all the research I did and explain like what I found. And they're like, oh yeah. And then they kind of concur and like, oh, that does make sense. And then treat you.
Hey, I got a question for you real quick.
Okay.
Was I supposed to hit that record button
No.
on the road box? No.
No, that's only if you're using the SD card.
Okay.
Yeah.
Woo. Almost had a.
I mean, regardless if this didn't get recorded, it'd be nice to catch up, Josh.
Yeah. So
yeah, I'm recovering and it's all good, and hopefully it ends.
What do you think, Nogi Worlds? You're gonna be back at it for Nogi Worlds?
I don't know, because I'm back in San Diego and I can't train until I get my mats in my gym, which will be a couple weeks. But I mean, maybe I could do it. I'm not dead. I'm not set on it. But man, I have a newfound passion for Nogi though. Because, 2 reasons.
Okay.
I fixed my neck with a series of neck workouts.
That's because you stayed away from me for 6 months.
Honestly, it literally, I was thinking that too. I was like, man, my neck feels great every day in training. Why was I in so much pain for so long? And it was literally 4 years of my life of my neck being destroyed was because of you.
Because we haven't trained together. We only trained together once in the past 6 months.
Yeah, and then I just looked back and just thought of, like, why was my neck hurt all the time? And I just assumed that Nogi training, your neck would just always be messed up. And I remember just looking back on my Nogi training, 90% of it was just fighting out of guillotines. But when I went and trained somewhere else, people didn't do that. Yeah. So my neck was fine, and I was feeling awesome.
I'm bad for your health.
Seriously, yeah. I don't like training Nogi. I don't want to train Nogi with you. But I was doing my yogaforbjj.net neck exercises, and it helped me a lot.
Oh, speaking of our sponsors, that's probably something I should throw out there right now.
Yeah, go ahead. That's a great time.
I just got one. I gotta mention. VHTS.Europe stepped in because I don't know. They messaged us a while back, and then I talked to the guy for a little bit, and we didn't really we couldn't come to an agreement at first, but after talking to the guy, I realized he's super cool, and his name is also Josh.
Okay.
So I was like, you know what, we have to work something out. So
cool.
So we did, yeah. So we got VHTS.Europe. Check them out. It's the European version of VHTS, obviously.
Which stands for?
Very hard to submit.
Cool name.
And yeah, you can check them out. Follow them on Instagram. VHTS.Europe. You can check them out on Facebook. VHTS Europe. No dot on that one. And yeah, check out the website and check out those kimonos. One of their athletes just won the ADCC this week, and I'm not going to mention his name because I hate him. But
you don't hate him.
No, I don't hate him. He's cool. I'm super happy for him. Shout out to Mateus.
That's Mateus' first big title.
It is,
and he's always been considered as one of the best guys. But like, sort of like me, like kind of an underperformer, I think, in some situations.
The dude's just been grinding for 4 or 5 years, you know? And if you think about it, every year he does a little bit better.
Right. So me and him are kind of on the same path, I feel, because we fought at brown belt like 5 times, and he was like one of the other best brown belts at the time. And we fought a ton. We fought at Grappler's Quest. We fought in Worlds. We fought at Pans, all through brown belt.
Black belt you fought too at 5, right?
Yeah. And then we fought again at black belt, but that was 6 years later. But we used to have some battles. In the same era of me versus the Meows, I fought Mateus a ton. And so we were of the same crop, and we got our black belts the same year, I think, too.
Yeah, man.
So he's been around.
Congratulations to him.
Yeah, awesome job, dude.
I shut him down in the past, and then he shut me down now, so we're 2-2 now.
Shoot, dude, rubber match. Got to get it back.
I know, got to get that 5th match in. But what did you think of the tournament in general?
Well, I thought it was a great example of sort of just different grappling styles being effective versus the Brazilian jiu-jitsu style.
The styles are vastly different, right?
They're diverging so much, and that's what I've been trying to. I've been seeing it happen for so long. Ever since I did the podcast with Flo where I was talking about Nogi imploding, and I kind of misread the situation, and I felt like Nogi was actually like the amount of techniques that were usable were diminishing, but really what was happening is people were just shifting to the new style of Nogi, which is very effective, which is that like leg lock game, and then incorporating very simple passes now. It's kind of like all passes just came only from body locks, it seemed like.
Body lock is the way to pass a guard Nogi.
But so I sort of differentiate Nogi Jiu-Jitsu now as like Nogi is grappling, and in the gi it's Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. But you can't use Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu moves Nogi anymore. Like you can't pass with knee cuts really effectively. You can't pass with like, you don't play De La Riva guard. You don't play reverse De La Riva guard. Everything is just like different. It's like it doesn't apply. And so
I saw some reverse De La Riva this weekend.
Yeah, I mean it's at the lower lower divisions.
Not so much De La Riva, but reverse De La Riva.
Yeah. Well, you see that the reverse De La Riva is like one of the only moves that is
That's
like recognizable from the gi.
That's what shuts down the knee cut, right?
Well, reverse delhi was kind of a weak position already. I think
It's a defensive guard.
It's defensive, and you have kind of like you have a couple moves from there for sure. But I mean, what I'm saying is like, if you see the guys who had extraordinary success, they weren't using Brazilian jiu-jitsu techniques. They were like Lachlan, who did really well against the 3 massive dudes. He did it all with his own personal leg lock creation.
Right.
Like that was his own thing.
You don't think his system is considered Brazilian jiu-jitsu?
I mean, is it?
I'm asking you. Don't ask me.
I don't think so, no, because I think if Lachlan came up with it, it's Australian jiu-jitsu.
Me and Robert Drysdale had this conversation about whether the word Brazilian belongs next to jiu-jitsu anymore.
Well, I think it does, in the sense that you should attribute everything that Brazilians created as Brazilian jiu-jitsu. And then as the different cultures come up with their own styles and techniques, it's all different jitsus, bro. Like in Naruto. It's like you practice your jitsus. There's American, Australian, Japanese, and Brazilian. And there's even some Polish jiu-jitsu.
But let's be honest, all the foundational stuff all comes back to Brazilian jiu-jitsu.
Actually, it all comes back to Japanese jiu-jitsu.
I know what you're going to say.
Yeah.
Is it though?
The foundational stuff?
Absolutely. I mean, I don't know Japanese jiu-jitsu, so I have no idea.
Well, if you look at what is the type of jiu-jitsu? Kozen judo is what it's called, I think.
Are you thinking Kodokan?
No. Kodokan is where they practice judo, but Kozen judo is the practice of judo where the emphasis is on the niwaza, which is the ground fighting.
The mat fight.
Yeah, fighting on the ground. And if you watch...
Is that what niwaza means? It's the fight on the mat?
Yeah.
The non-standing?
The non-standing portion, yeah.
Okay.
And so there's tons of videos of really old footage of people doing Kozen judo, utilizing 90% of what you see in Brazilian jiu-jitsu. De La Riva, butterfly guard, all the arm bars, all the triangles, all that stuff was around. Like a lot of that existed still. A good example of what Brazilian jiu-jitsu has come up with is like guys like Terere, guys like Jacare, who came up with these really dynamic passing movements with like long steps and like the collar grip to utilize knee cuts and like the different over-under passes, or like the deep half guard, or like Roleta's open guard. Like there's a ton of moves that originated from Brazil, but the general foundation came from Japan. And so now I just don't, sorry to interrupt. Sorry. I just don't think it's...
I don't believe you, first of all.
Why?
But go ahead.
What do you mean? Tell me why.
When you said you were sorry.
Oh, no, I am sorry. Did you see on Joe Rogan's podcast when he had Neil deGrasse Tyson? There's an entire clip. It's so funny. Neil deGrasse Tyson just blatantly interrupts Joe Rogan like 8 times in a row. Like every time Joe starts to speak, Neil Tyson just like interrupts and starts yelling.
Is he doing it on purpose, or
no? But Joe, every time he does it, Joe's like, ugh.
Just rolls his eyes.
Just like you can just tell it's killing him inside, and he just doesn't say anything because he's a good host.
Neil's such a nice guy.
You got to see this clip though. It's so funny. I was watching it the other night. It's just like so blatant. You think it's like one of those edited Joe Rogan clips, but it's real. But anyways, what I'm saying is I just think like people get it mixed up. Like when I talk about Brazilian jiu-jitsu, American jiu-jitsu, I'm not like, people think I'm trying to lay claim to the entire grappling thing. Like, oh, what you do is Brazilian jiu-jitsu. I'm not saying that everything that I do is American jiu-jitsu. I'm just saying what I've come up with, the techniques I've come up with should be considered American.
Because you're an American.
Because I'm an American. And I think just like Lachlan came up with a bunch of moves, he should get credit for it.
So then how do we speak about it in general? We can't
jiu-jitsu. You call it jiu-jitsu.
Just call it jiu-jitsu. So you agree, just drop the nationalities.
Yeah, just drop the nationalities unless you're referencing to a specific style that originated from that region.
Even in no-gi, it's jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
And in the gi, it's jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
And so I've heard mixed stories because I've had, believe it or not, I've had a lot of angry Brazilians in my Instagram DMs lately.
I can't imagine that.
I have had
I can't
a lot.
imagine this. I can't imagine it's going to decrease after this conversation either.
Yeah, well, I mean, I feel like I make valid points.
The argument that Drysdale had was more about the culture that has followed. Like, like all the things that happen, not the techniques, everything other than the techniques. It's like the flip flops, the board shorts, the acai.
That's Brazilian jiu-jitsu.
The chilling in the corners, like with your homies after the training session and just kicking back, going to the beach. Like he said, that's all like Rio culture.
Okay.
And he's like, because that culture it follows, the jiu-jitsu to all the academies around the country. He's like, he believes that's the reason it should still be Brazilian jiu-jitsu.
So I wouldn't say it doesn't follow all the academies. It follows the academies that have Brazilians in them because
sure. No, I know because if you go to an MMA academy,
they don't. It's not the same vibe.
It's different. Yeah.
And they're still doing jiu-jitsu, but a lot of times, if it's an all-American gym, they follow American culture, which is different. And there's nothing wrong. I like that vibe. I love the Brazilian jiu-jitsu vibe for the most part. It's like cool. What I think is really weird is if you go to Renzo's in the basement for John's class, it's like all Americans. Like very, very few of the Brazilian guys train in that class.
Where do they Brazilians go?
They do like different classes.
Whose class? I
don't know. I don't know who runs it. I didn't go to them.
Who else teaches there?
I don't know.
You didn't see anything?
I didn't. No, I only.
Why is it in a basement? Why is it? What's above it?
There's another mat space, but it's like the MMA mat space.
Oh,
yeah. So I mean, there the culture's super different. They don't line up. They don't bow. They don't do any of the. They don't do any of that.
That's kind of like if you go to a lot of MMA academies that are ran by Americans,
it feels like a wrestling practice.
That's what it's like. Yeah, it's like a wrestling practice. There's no bowing. There's no lining up.
They still hang out and shoot the shit before and after, but it's like when the class starts, it's just, all right, everyone, let's do the technique. And John teaches. He teaches like 6 techniques in a row, and then they just spar, and then there's no like end of class. Like they just do a set amount of rounds.
Train until you're tired and leave.
Yeah, and then it's just like, so apparently one tradition that formed that John didn't like try and make happen is everyone goes and shakes his hand after the class, but it's not like a lineup where everyone shakes everyone's hands. John's just sitting on the wall, and then the entire class shakes his hand as they leave. But I think he would probably prefer not to do that.
Like individually. Like I'm trying. I do my 5 rounds. I'm tired. I gotta go.
No. So everyone stays around for the full 6 rounds. So there's 6 rounds every day.
Okay.
And at the 6th round, he doesn't say that's it for class. Everyone just knows that was the 6th round, so that's the end. And like you could stay and keep training if you wanted to, but generally everyone leaves and everyone kind of lines up and shakes John's hand and leaves. So it like if you want to see like a jiu-jitsu culture that is predominantly American, I would say that looks like it the most. It's in Renzo's gym, but he lets John do his own thing because it works. So why try and change it? And so it's
different people like different things. I think some people really like the structure of lining up. And,
yeah.
You know,
I think there's a lot of good things about that.
Some people prefer rigid structure, and some people prefer no structure.
Yeah,
I know which one you are.
You don't.
Yes, I do.
You don't, dude.
You very clearly just told us how much you think it's cool that they don't have it.
I didn't say it was cool. I just said it was a different culture.
What do you think? What do you prefer?
I have always enjoyed the hierarchy system of Brazilian jiu-jitsu, and I really enjoyed when all black belts were treated like
equals.
The equals, yeah. And so all the black belts line up at the front of the class, and it's like you ascend to that point, and you work your way up the line until you're the top level brown belt, and you're at the front of the line. And when you get your black belt, you finally move to the black belt line. So I didn't like when Otto switched from.
We used this for a while we all stood up there.
Yeah, it used to be that all the black belts would stand up at the front, and then it changed to only whoever was teaching the class.
Teaching, even if it's a brown belt.
Even if it was a brown belt, yeah. And I just felt like that kind of, I mean, it was still fine, like, sure, but I feel like it just gives a lot of value to the black belts.
Well, let's be honest. Even if you're a black belt in a class and you're not teaching the class and you're not even an instructor at that academy, people are always asking you to help them with. So you are a teacher.
And they refer to you as professor a lot of times.
You are a teacher, whether you like it or not. People are going to ask you questions.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying, like, I liked that original structure. I thought that was cool, and I thought it helped people want to be black belts because it's like something changes. There's like a big change. You don't just move your way up the line slowly. It's like once you get your black belt, you're with the cool kids at the front of the line, and you have like that status, and I thought that was cool. Sort of like, because I never cared about stripes or anything, but that's something I always thought was cool. Because I spent years at the front of the brown belt line, just like, I'm a good brown belt, but I'm not a black belt.
But you're not up there.
Yeah, I'm not up there yet.
Yeah.
And it just like keeps you in check, and I don't know. I think that felt cool.
So what's your academy going to do?
I don't know. I've been thinking a lot about it, and I'm not sure. I don't know if I want to do lineups. I don't know if I want to treat it like a wrestling gym practice.
You could do like lineups in a gi and no lineups and no gi.
I think I would do it. I think that's the best way.
I think that's what my friend David Riley does out in Tucson.
I think the gi, I should keep it as very traditional.
I think he does.
And then no gi, keep it less traditional, less formal.
Yeah, that would make the most sense. Then you get a little taste of both, and people can kind of go where they like.
Exactly. So you have something for both types of people, because it kind of seems like the people who do no gi are generally against the gi and what it is, you know?
Yeah.
They think the traditions are kind of dumb and they don't like it because it's like not a street fight situation, blah, 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 blah. So, yeah, I'll probably offer both.
Sweet.
Yeah. So how was your ADCC experience?
You didn't watch it?
I did, but
What did you think?
I thought you did awesome. I thought it was really stupid of you to do that flying scissor takedown.
It wasn't flying. I put my hand on the mat. It was real controlled.
Well, not stupid in the sense that you could hurt someone, but it just like from a game plan perspective.
So,
like, why would you be on bottom ever?
So I'll just explain it real quick because, I mean, I of course I regret doing it.
Stupid's the wrong word. I feel like it was just the wrong strategic
we were
decision.
in the no points time, right?
Oh, true.
It was no points. So it didn't matter. And he grabbed my leg. So I was like, to be honest, I didn't understand why he went for my leg, put himself at risk in a situation where he's not going to get any points for it. But at Kasai, I held him in my guard for quite a while, and I was able to like attack him a little bit, even though I didn't get anything for it. No, I just wanted to try something different. There was no points, and I went for it. The opportunity was there, so I was like, look, this is going to work, and I'm going to finish him right now with a heel hook. Mm-hmm. But I was talking to Sar in the background back earlier, and I was like, but he's really good at sprawling really hard, and I was like, that would be the best way to avoid that leg entanglement if he sprawls, and of course he did. One thing about Mateus is his reactions are very fast, very fast. So if you don't do something super fast, he will generally react right out of it pretty quickly.
Yeah, just as a fan of your jiu-jitsu game, I know your style, and it just seemed like it would make so much more sense to just stay on insist on the feet at all times throughout the entire ADCC.
So what I figured was at some point we'd get into a scramble and I'd be able to find my way back to my feet. That's what I assumed. That's what happened at Kasai.
Yeah.
You know, I pulled guard once. I tried to attack him a few ways from the guard. At some point I got back to my feet.
Right.
And I figured, okay, like something's going to happen. We'll get into some kind of scramble. I'll be able to get back to my feet, and then we can finish this wrestling.
Right.
And that he just never gave me that opportunity. He couldn't get up. He hugged really, really tight, and
which is it's a part of the ADCC rule set kind of. It's like good to stay on top.
Yeah. I mean, now that I think about it, I went back and I was watching some of the match, and there's a few times he stood up in my closed guard, and I kind of dropped down and grabbed his ankles. I should have just kicked him really hard,
like right in the chest.
I should have just I should have just kicked him really hard in the chest, and projected myself backwards,
created a space and just rolled.
Or
down.
I should have dropped down and hooked his leg and just try to calf slice him and just get him to kick out so I could get up.
Yeah.
And these are two things that I didn't do that I wish I should have. At least just to get him moving away from me so I could stand back up real quick. But he never. I think he just stayed tight. He stayed so tight. I was having a hard time moving at all.
Yeah, I think so. What I seem to have learned about the rules at this ADCC is a lot of the ref decisions that were in close fights, they're giving it to the competitor on top. Which I don't know if they talked about it in the rules meeting, how referee decisions work. Did they mention that at all?
They just said they favor people who initiate. Like if I initiated a takedown on you and you
the one who starts the movement.
Yeah, and you try to guillotine me. At the end of the scramble, however it turns out, the invisible point on the table goes to the initiator.
Right.
So even if you attack the guillotine, even the referee, the head referee Peter, he was like, "Look, he's like, just because you grabbed the guillotine doesn't mean you were attacking him. He's like, you were defending.
Right.
That was a defensive.
It was a defensive guillotine. Yeah.
Yeah. So the priority on the scoreboard for the invisible points goes to the initiator.
Okay, that makes sense.
So,
and if you look at the referee decisions, it seemed like that was a consistent thing.
And probably most guys that are on top were initiators.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and then also it's like they literally give negative points for guard pulling. So, I mean, there's no way in the rules that they value that as a dominant position. Right. And that was something I think a lot of people don't understand about ADCC is in IBJJF, a guard puller is viewed as equally dominant as the top player.
Right.
So in referee decisions, a lot of times they give it to the guy on bottom, regardless of if it's a 0-0 fight, even if you pulled right at the very start. Because
in IBJJF, if you're playing guard and someone's in your guard, they're defending, you're attacking, right? It's close guard, for example.
Right.
If I have you in my close guard, you're defensive.
But I mean, they follow that same kind of referee decision making in no-gi IBJJF too. Like you can play guard and be aggressive from bottom and win pretty hard. But I think you could probably do that at ADCC too if you're really aggressive and actually initiating things. But so many of the big guys who lost decisions on like Cyborg losing the decision to Nick Rod on bottom.
I didn't go watch that match, dude. I was getting ready for my match.
Yeah, basically Cyborg played guard the whole time but wasn't really attacking from bottom. And Nick was kind of just like jumping around on top. And so there was two significant. Each person did 2 significant movements. Nick got near back attack on Cyborg twice, like scrambled near to his back, and then Cyborg went from guard to Nick's back at one point into like a referee position, and then Nick escaped. Cyborg was on bottom again, and then went for an armbar attempt. So Cyborg had 1 back attack and 1 armbar attempt. Nick had 2 back attacks and was on top for most of the fight and was more active with initiation, which is why I think Cyborg lost fair and square.
Another good example is Mike Perez versus Adam Varginski.
I didn't see the whole fight.
Perez was on the top basically the whole time, and Adam was playing guard the whole time. But Adam's a instantaneous guard puller, right? He's obviously a guard player. He's got a really good butterfly guard, and the whole time it was Mike on top with it in a knee cut, and Adam on bottom with the reverse De La Riva, and that was the whole fight. And at the end of it, they gave it to Adam.
Really? Yeah.
But because Adam was trying to get underneath Mike, and Mike constantly had to turn and kick away.
Right.
There was a few times. Yeah, to be honest, I didn't see the whole fight at the time. I only saw the 5 minutes overtime, and then I watched it last night. And Galvao told me that he thought Mike won, and I said, I don't know, man, because I only saw the overtime. But and correct me if I'm wrong, they judged the entire fight, right?
I don't know. Honestly,
I'm pretty sure.
That's what I kept saying, because I was doing a play-by-play on Instagram Live while it was all happening, and one of the things I was trying to figure out is like, do the competitors even know the rules? Like, it seems like the refs know the rules better than competitors, but in IBJJF it's the opposite. Like,
right.
In IBJJF, the competitors know the rules better than the refs. In ADCC, it's the opposite, because like we've competed at. You did ADCC. Is this your first ADCC?
My first time competing in the rule set was 2017.
Okay, but that was the trials. Okay, but this is your first ADCC event.
This is my first Worlds.
Okay, yeah. So I've done it. I've done ADCC 3 times and 1 trial. So I have quite a bit of experience in the rule set, but even I don't know all the rules yet. Like it's difficult. It's a difficult rule set to understand.
Yeah, it's
because it's very different. And so if we don't know it, the spectators don't know it.
Yeah, no.
And so like spectators that are commenting on like what should be what, it's like, bro, you don't know, because we don't even know.
It's very complicated. And even at the rules meeting, they break it down. He goes through it pretty quickly, and
yeah, that's what I noticed too. Is they do sort of a cursory,
they
like
glide
this,
over
this,
it.
this, and
but
this.
The impetus is on the athletes to ask questions.
Yeah,
and they did. They asked them good questions. Everyone had a good question about who initiates what, and who at the end of a scramble, the initiator will get a point or not point. It is complicated, man. Just like if you mount someone and they roll you over, that's 2 points.
Mm-hmm. I only learned that this year. I didn't even know that was a thing.
From side control, if for chest to chest side control, and you just bridge and roll them over real hard, that's 2 points.
Yeah. So it's reversals instead of sweeps.
Passing to mount is just a pass.
But
it's like you only get points for one or the other. You don't get both. I don't know if it's a pass or if it's a mount.
But then what's hilarious is that every point that can be scored can be negated if you turn away from the person.
Right.
So like if you're mounted on someone and they bump you over and you just immediately turn away and give them turtle, it's not points for either. No one. Because
like you said many times, it's a submission wrestling tournament, and wrestling is all about putting someone's back on the mat.
Yeah. So they only reward you if your opponent's back hits
the mat. So ADCC is all about putting the back on the mat.
Yep.
Yeah. And that's the other thing with Mateus. Like I figured if he passed my guard, I figured I could just turtle really hard and defend as much as I need to. Mm-hmm. But when he passed, man, he stuck it so hard. Like
pinned you, bro.
He pinned me hard.
Like high school all over again.
He was squeezing so damn tight, and I just figured, man, it was like the last 10 seconds. I was like, I can hold on to him,
So that's kind of like why I'm saying Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and ADCC are different sports, kind of.
Yeah, they are
because Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, all the techniques are about just going from top to bottom, but with your legs, and the person doesn't really want to turn away, because if they turn away, you take their back and choke them in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. That's like, don't ever give your back in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, right? But ADCC, it's like you have to give your back, and you have to be comfortable at defending from there.
Right.
And so...
And everyone's shirtless and slippery.
Yeah, and so that changes the whole dynamic of the techniques that are most applicable. And so that's why I'm saying... I was in the comments, and a lot of people are giving me flack about saying it's not Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. It's not a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu tournament. It's not.
It's not even close.
It's a submission wrestling tournament.
Like, actually, the only thing that's the same as like an IBJJF tournament is like the 3 points for the guard pass.
Yeah.
Like even the mount is not the same. The way you score the mount, the points is different. Mm-hmm. The way you score the back, the points are different. The neon belly is different.
Yeah, it's entirely different, which is so it's just people are confused because they think ADCC is Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, but it's not.
It's 2 points for the takedown and 3 points for the guard pass. That's literally the only two parts of the two different tournaments that are the same.
Like, there's no blue belt in the world that could go to Worlds in the gi and do well at black belt. No. Right? But because it's a submission wrestling tournament, Nick Rod has wrestling, and that's literally enough. It's like such a huge part of the rule set that it was able to carry him to the finals.
Yeah.
Because Nick Rod doesn't know jiu-jitsu, man. He has a really good rear naked choke and can throw hooks in really effectively, but when you train with him, he doesn't really do guard.
Because wrestlers know how to ride the back.
Yeah.
That's what wrestling is.
Exactly. So people were turning away from him, and he's totally fine there. It's like, yeah, this is wrestling.
Like in wrestling, there's an entire style of wrestling that's leg riding, you know?
Yeah.
And that's throwing in one hook and hugging the other leg.
So, like, it's good for Nick that people don't really have that comprehension because it's like, oh my God, you're so good at Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and you've only been training in a year. But it's kind of like a rule set thing.
Yeah.
And
I thought he was a very nice guy, actually. Just want to throw that out there for everyone. I just had a few moments.
He's kind of like a kid.
Yeah, he's a big kid.
He's like a big
kid, but he's very polite, and I enjoyed my few conversations with him. He seems like a pretty polite guy.
Yeah, for the most part, anyone except Dylan and AJ, who are like abrasive online, they're pretty nice. But it's just when you take it like offline and they're still a dick, it's like, what are you doing? That's stupid.
Yeah.
But for the most part, it seems like Gordon and Nick and
I saw AJ at ADCC.
Really, he was there?
He came into the warm up area.
Yeah.
He was trying to give I don't know.
Wasn't he supposed to fight or something?
That's what I'm saying. I didn't understand. He pulled out for a Bellator fight, but he was there. He was in the warm up area wearing his sunglasses.
Weird.
He came to talk to the twins, I think. The Bertolas.
Huh.
So I was super confused by that. But yeah. He was there, not fighting in Bellator.
But yeah, it's just a different tournament, and it was super exciting, and Mo did an awesome job with the matchmaking and the...
Honestly, I couldn't even complain. If you paid me $100 to find a complaint, I couldn't do it. It was perfect, man.
I didn't see anything.
It was perfect. They took such good care of the athletes, like really nice hotel, good food. The event was just spectacular. Everything was super cool. Like I honestly had the greatest time. It was one of the greatest weekends of my life, except for the fact that I didn't get a gold medal. But yeah, it was a super fun experience.
From a spectator standpoint, too, it was awesome. Like the stream was super good and consistent. It didn't go down ever. It was super high quality. They had commentators for every mat.
Right, and they had good cameras on every mat.
Good cameras on every mat. Yeah. And at one point, they had like
I didn't realize how close those cameras were getting to us.
Dude, on Sunday morning, they had Lucas and Gordon, Bushesha and Keenan, and two other like big names all fighting at the very first round of the day. It's like, holy shit, this is like a huge lineup at any super fight event happening right now on 3 mats at the same time. I couldn't even pay attention to all 3 of the fights at the same time. It was just so much high quality matchmaking all happening at once. It was just crazy. But I loved the event. I thought it was awesome, and I thought Ty. It was Ty who was fighting. Right?
Oh my God, Ty did so great.
He looked so good, man. The guy, it looks like he's kind of growing in a little bit into his body. Yeah, like he's like starting to sprout, you know.
Yeah,
and he was working it, man.
He did amazing. I was super proud for him, man. I'm not even gonna lie, bro. I got a little choked up, right?
Yeah.
When I was trying to like talk to him in the background, I was just like, man, I was so happy for him.
Yeah, man, they're just getting started too. It's crazy.
And he's like, yeah, and they busted their asses, man. They busted their asses at that camp. Like they were there every day. Ty had to cut a bunch of weight to make it. It was like the first time I think he had to do like a really hardcore weight cut. Mm-hmm. And he looked so skinny, man. He was like a skeleton when he was weighing in.
Damn. Running around. The 3-day wait, 2 days you have to weigh in 3 times?
All 3, yeah. Friday, Saturday, Sunday morning.
Yeah, that's pretty intense.
Man, he did great. I mean, I don't gotta tell you guys, like that picture of him knee barring Paulo.
Yeah,
or trying to knee bar. I mean,
that's crazy.
I mean, he did knee bar Paulo more or less. Paulo just didn't tap,
just didn't
right?
Tap. How can you just let your leg go like that? What is supporting your knee at that point? Like when it hyperextends already? Like how is it not damaged?
Either things are already torn or he's just
it's just so crazy. It's weird that hypermobility at some point has structural strength after it.
I mean, he was limping off.
Oh, really?
He limped off.
Okay, so it hurt him?
Yeah, he limped off the mat, but so did Ty.
Okay.
Like they both limped off almost identically.
Well, Ty put himself through a meat grinder because he just wouldn't stop moving in every match. Like he just passed hard as fuck.
Think about it, dude. He's a 16-year-old blue belt I mean, he's not really a blue belt. Let's just be honest. He's not.
He's been training like 10 years right
They
now,
started
right?
when they were like 4, and now they're 16. So
Okay,
it's
so
12 years consistent.
As long as me.
He wears a blue belt, but he's not a blue belt.
He has black belt.
They have knowledge.
Yeah.
They have the knowledge. But like, man, to go up against 4 black belts, like seasoned black belts, that was amazing. Honestly.
Yeah. I think he did better than Nicky Ryan. Like, he looked better.
I didn't see any of Nicky's matches.
He had 2 matches. I don't remember how his first one went, but he lost to Paulo by 2 points, yeah. Paulo swept him from 50-50, and then Nick couldn't sweep back.
What was one of the most, I guess you said Lachlan, huh?
That was super. There was so many cool
standout.
stuff. I thought Nick Rod was really impressive, just because he was showing what I've been trying to say, which is like a different style of jiu-jitsu exists, and it's not all Brazilian jiu-jitsu, and things change.
It's like it's wrestling, grappling.
But then also he was just so confident without even knowing how much he didn't know in jiu-jitsu, you know?
Yeah.
But it didn't matter because it was ADCC. And the way he dealt with Orlando was pretty crazy. Orlando was like one of the guys.
He did to Orlando what Orlando did to Dean Lister, right? Kind of got behind him, and
I think the only person who beat Orlando that bad ever was Rustam, because Rustam was taking him down in the same way.
I heard about that.
Like just smacking him around. And man, that was such a violent match. That was the second most. I thought that was the most violent fight, but Andre versus Philippe was much more violent. But Nick Rod just aggressively kept like smashing his face into Orlando's while also like clubbing and like moving and trying to.
So Orlando got all bloodied up again.
He got all bloodied up.
That's like his thing now.
But Nick Rod was fine. But he was just so violent and aggressive, and I was just like, damn, like that's got to be hard to deal with for guys like Cyborg or guys like Ali, who they know they're good and they know they're black belts and they know they deserve respect, but to fight someone who just had no respect for them, like doesn't care about jiu-jitsu, like he just wants to just grapple and like, you know,
just wants to scrap.
He just wants to scrap and just doesn't care. That totally set them on their heels, and I think that's why Cyborg like reacted the way he did, is because in the fight he got disrespected. And then after, he feels like doubly bad because it's a blue belt, and then he thinks he was cheated. It's just like so many. It must have just been a terrible experience because you just get no love.
Yeah,
no respect from the competitor, no respect from anyone, and then complaining about it. Then he got no respect from the fans too. So it was just a bad.
It's never. I don't care how upset you are. I don't think it's ever a good idea to go on camera and complain. It's just never going to turn out well.
Yeah, it's never going to end well.
No one's ever going to be like, yeah, he's right. That's correct. I mean, maybe
well,
his friends,
friends
and teammates,
yeah. But the thing is, you have to let them make the excuses for you. Like, even if you feel that way, It's better to just be like, okay, well, what can I control in this situation? The only thing I can really control is myself and how I react to it. I've lost my cool about against Patrick Gaudio and those refs.
But did you go online?
I don't think I made a video, but I was really vocal about it on Instagram.
Lost my video feed.
It's okay. I'll take over from here.
No, you just keep talking. Tell me. I want to know what. Tell me. I didn't get to see all the matches, man. So you're gonna have to come out. And, I just saw.
Well,
the highlights.
I was watching a lot of the high profile matches and kind of analyzing.
What do you think about my matches?
What was happening?
Talk about me. Me.
Well,
me.
I just like you were doing a really great job of getting to your chin strap from standing. Like you dove over Adam Wardzinski like right off the bat and got his head. I just immediately mounted him, right?
I just want to say Adam was tough. He was way tougher than I expected.
That man looks like he's never touched a weight in his life.
I know, but in my opinion, he was. I just thought, he's a gi. He's mostly a gi. I've never seen him do no gi. Mm-hmm. You know,
but his game does translate pretty well.
Of course, he plays butterfly guard in a gi, and his guard was super good, man. He was launching attacks at me like the whole fight. I didn't even do anything until the last couple minutes.
Right.
I was defending most of the time. Like I just did not expect him to be so savvy no gi because I've never seen him compete no gi.
Yeah.
But shout out to Adam, man. He did a great job. It was a great fight.
Yeah, I saw a few of his butterfly movements were looking pretty good. And he's definitely one of those guys you can't count out. You've seen him pull off some crazy moves before, some crazy upsets. Let me think. A lot of the other matches were mostly wrestling stand-up, which I wouldn't say I am an expert in analyzing, but it was kind of cool to see like training with Gordon and seeing his techniques in the training camp. He literally just did the exact same stuff. Like it was like the same 3 moves over and over.
Arm drag, butt scoot.
It was like arm drag, hip heist, grabbing behind their head, and then if they come into you, you're supposed to like go for a front headlock.
Let's talk about him and Buchecha, because that fight did not.
It was weird.
It was super anticlimactic.
But it was I think it was just because Buchecha was worried about getting caught in leg entanglements.
I think he was just being conservative and safe?
I think he was being conservative because he had to be. Because if you engage on Gordon too hard and he gets to a technique that you've never seen before, because they're only learning it at John's. It's like John's system is only really taught there, so no one else has seen it. They've only seen it in competition, but if it's not explained to you, you're not really going to understand it. So there's just that like threat at all times. Like, what's he going to do? And then he kind of set the pace of the match by immediately sweeping Buchecha to mount with that super old school sweep.
Adam almost hit that on me too.
Yeah, and there's actually a video online of John Danaher showing Renzo that like 15 years ago.
That's a good sweep.
And so John has hair and is like balding. He's got like long hair, and he's like demonstrating it on Renzo, the exact sweep.
He had long hair.
He has long hair,
while he was balding, like mullet style.
It was like balding here, but like kind of growing still, but long.
That's interesting.
Yeah, the video's on YouTube. I'm not sure what it's called, but he's showing Renzo that sweep that he came up with, and then he's showing Renzo a spine lock that he came up with from Butterfly. So it's cool to see. Like, I think Gordon's success really comes from, he's just the only person who 100% follows exactly John's
system that no one else really knows.
No one else really knows, and it's like a complete series of movements that no one knows and no one's seen really.
So they can't counter.
So they can't counter it because like in Brazilian jiu-jitsu, everyone's seen everything basically.
Right.
And I mean that's a lot of the reason my lapel stuff works too, is because no one's ever seen it before.
It was new and there was no existing counters.
There's no existing counters and people are just speculating on how to counter it. But I was the only person who could really play it, so they don't actually have a real test.
And how many years have gone by now and people have counters to worm guard now, right?
A little, yeah. I mean, more counters for sure.
I just want to see if you're going to answer that, yes or no.
I mean, of course, counters have come up, but I mean, I have so many new things.
Not good counters.
Yeah, not good ones.
Nothing that'll work on me.
Yep. I mean, you can hold me, but you can't pass worm guard really. Still,
there's a point of no return with the worm guard, right?
Yeah, I think so. So basically, that's kind of what happened with Gordon. I think people were kind of worried about that, and Buchecha was kind of worried about it, and I think Buchecha was also getting tired. I think
he just looked like he didn't have any pep in his step.
Yeah, but I mean,
he just looked kind of like over it.
Yeah,
wasn't interested. That's honestly that was my opinion. I was right there on the side of the mat, man. I was on the edge, sitting on mat number 3, watching mat number 2.
Well, I don't think Buchecha's ever been as confident in no-gi.
Probably
last ADCC, Philippe took his back and choked him. Like he's just not as comfortable no-gi.
Right.
He's in the gi. Has the most black belt world titles of anyone, like 11 or 12 or something crazy. Right. But no-gi, I mean, it's just you can't be the best at both. It's very difficult.
Galval did a pretty good job though.
But he wasn't necessarily the best at the gi because he didn't win absolute, right?
Right.
So it's kind of like I don't think there's anyone who's won. Is there just Hodger? Hodger's won absolute in both.
Correct.
I think Hodger's the only one.
Drysdale.
But did he win absolute?
Yeah.
In both? Yeah. So, I mean, but these things were a long time ago before a lot of the changes.
No, of course. This
happened.
is like more than 10 years ago.
So now it's becoming even more difficult to be the best at both. So you kind of are the absolute champion of one or the other, and that's kind of your best sport. But yeah, Andre definitely did the best in both over the years, it seems like, besides Hodger.
He had a pretty solid run.
Yeah. Is he going to do the super fight?
I don't know, man.
He was acting like he was.
I'm super confused by what he did recently. Look, I got to reset my camera again. Sorry.
I mean, why would he stop if he felt like he looked so good?
He looked great.
He beat the crap out of Philippe. Like, why? He could easily do that again, I think, in 2 years.
I mean,
he's just got to take it easy until then. Just rest.
You don't know what it's like to approach 40, bro.
I don't.
I do.
Well, I mean, I would assume
a lot of people don't realize I'm older than Andre Galval.
Yeah.
By 3 months.
Yeah, but I think MMA fighters fall into the same trap. It's just like, I felt good last time. I can keep going.
Yeah, and it's different if we're talking about 6 months, but we're not. We're talking about 2 years.
Yeah.
We're talking about 2 years. That's a lot can happen in 2 years.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see if he ends up actually doing it. But
he, as far as I knew, I mean, he tells me everything. And as far as I knew, he was like, this is my last fight. I'm done. Like, this is the greatest way to go out, beating Philippe. You know, him and Philippe have had some history, and like, it's kind of one of his biggest rivals, right?
I just wonder if he will be able to keep thinking that when everyone is like talking about Gordon being like no-gi champion or whatever, because the internet right now is just blowing up saying Gordon is the best ever, because Gordon was like, I'm the best ever, and now I won, and now I'm definitely the best ever. But everyone's like, well, you haven't beat Andre. Well, he won't fight me. So it's like this weird thing. It's like I would totally fight him to prove it, but he won't fight me. So I wonder if that's going to put pressure on Andre to fight him.
I think Andre just felt so good after that match, and I'm pretty sure I heard the words come out of his mouth. I don't know if I should say it, but he was talking to Mo, and Mo was like, look, I need to know if you're going to stick around or retire, because if not, we're going to do the face-off photo, or if not, we're not going to do that. Or he's going to get someone, I don't know. They want to do the face-off photo.
Right.
And Andre was like, I just heard him say, I'll fight that guy. That's all I heard him say. I'll fight that guy.
Yeah, he may have just been riding high
Bro,
off the victory.
He was beaming with endorphins, and
Right.
like he was. This is literally just a few minutes after.
But
his
if you like, I could see him watching the Buchecha versus Gordon fight and being like, wait, I can easily take Gordon down, which I think he can. I think Andre could easily take Gordon down in the same manner that he was taking Philippe down.
Andre's wrestling is so good.
His wrestling for ADCC is amazing.
It's so good.
So I could see him justifying in his head, like, yeah, he's totally capable of beating him. That rule set especially is like good for Andre. It's the best.
Yeah.
So I don't think, I don't know.
He shocked me. He shocked me when he went out there and basically showed everyone that he's going to stick around for 2 more years. But as far as I understood, he was done after this.
I mean,
fight.
a lot changes in 2 years, but he definitely is capable.
I think he likes the fact that no one's sure. I
Right.
think that's really what it is. He's like, he likes the fact that everyone's kind of guessing.
Yeah.
I would too.
Yeah.
But it'd be cool if it happens.
We'll
I mean,
see.
what's another $40,000?
Yeah. Is it 40 or 50 for that?
Well, if you think about it, it's 40 when you win
Mm-hmm.
the open class, and it's 40 when you win the super fight. And then
Which holds more value? The super fight or the absolute?
I mean, obviously winning the absolute is harder because you have 4 matches.
Right.
Obviously that's harder. But the super fight has more prestige. It just is what it is. Like,
Yeah.
the
I feel like the super fight is the real title, because
Yeah.
it's like you've made the
absolute
title.
is the gateway.
Yeah.
Winning the absolute is simply the gateway. All you did
Into
is
the championship round.
all you did is walk through the gateway.
Right.
And now you get, it's like winning the trials. Like, it's like saying what's more important, the trials or the ADCC World Championship. Well, the trials is simply the gate to get in.
Right.
It's cool to win, but you're not the champ.
Yeah.
You got the champ
So
already exists.
if Andre doesn't want to do it, would they put Philippe in?
It's like winning the absolute makes you the #1 contender.
Right.
That's what I believe. Like in boxing, like, right? They always said there's a champion and there's the guy who's #1.
But there's been a lot of shuffle steps in the super fight over the years. Like the person who won the absolute doesn't always do it, or they have to like pick someone else, or they make the absolute winner doesn't come that year and they put someone else in. So
what happens if Andre's, I don't know, gets hurt, broken, tired, whatever, and doesn't want to do it? Who steps in?
that's what I'm wondering. It's like Philippe. Does Philippe fight it again?
It makes the most sense.
But then that takes Philippe out of the absolute. Like he can't do the ADCC again. Like he can't do the absolute division either. So that's why Gordon was saying he wants to do both. He wants to do the super fight and the absolute again next year, which I think
he said the division and the super fight. You cannot, you can't, because then there would be no challenger. The next
yourself.
one. Yeah, you can't fight yourself. So he said he wanted to do the division and the super fight.
Interesting. We'll see. But it was an awesome
which is
event.
like less of a task than winning the division and the open class.
Yeah.
All right, because that's 8 fights.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. I think, like in boxing, I think they have a 1 through 10 ranking system, and then there's the champion, right? So I think, in my opinion, Gordon is now the #1 contender. Andre is still the champion, and now Gordon has earned the fight, earned the right to fight him. I don't know if he'll stick around. I don't know. I meant to ask him last night and I forgot.
I feel like
it doesn't matter what anyone says right now. You can't. I cannot ask you, Keenan, like, what are you gonna do right now 2 years from now?
I know.
Like, you're not, anything you say to me means nothing.
Yeah.
2 years is a long time.
I mean, the general goal is probably the same, but who knows? I guess we'll find out. So,
but so anyways, I meant to say, when you win the absolute, it's 40,000, and so like, okay, no matter what, you're getting 50,000, because even the loser gets 10 the next time. Okay. Right. I mean, so you're not going to get 50 on the spot. You're getting
in 2 years. You get
no matter what, at minimum, you're getting 40 plus 10.
Okay.
Like 2 years later.
Interesting.
If you lose, or you're getting 40 plus 40 if you win.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? So
I guess you're right.
No matter what, you're getting 50 grand.
Yeah. So, well, that does put the super fight as much more valuable then,
because it's worth 50,000.
It's worth 50,000
over the course of 2 years.
Yeah.
Yes.
Interesting. Or, I mean, 80,000 if you win.
If you win.
Because you win the absolute, and then the next year.
Yeah.
Unless it just counts as its own
No,
thing.
because then, look, because even if you win the absolute, that's 40. If you win the super fight, that's 40. And then you get to come back again, so you're guaranteed at least 10,
okay,
even if you lose, so it's worth 90.
Okay, yeah. Well, geez,
Math.
That's confusing.
Math.
That's your expertise, financial planning or something, right?
I was talking to Mo, or no, I was talking to Tom DeBlas. We were sitting there, we were watching Gordon versus Lachlan, and we were just talking about the event in general. And I was like, Tom, we need to keep this event here in the U.S.
Yeah.
Right? Do you agree?
Well,
it needs to stay here.
It makes it much better from a spectator standpoint.
The
because people
crowd,
can actually go.
Man, look, every picture that they have with the crowd behind the athlete.
Was it full?
Man, it looks amazing.
Because the cameras were pointed away from the crowd.
Yeah, so
I couldn't see really.
Literally half the arena was completely packed.
The side away from
behind the cameras. Yeah, the side facing the mats was completely packed. Obviously, they couldn't put people behind the stage because then they wouldn't see shit because of all those big screens.
Yeah.
But they sold out half the arena. It sold out of tickets. Like they probably could have curved around the side more, but they were not going to be good.
They should keep it in the U.S. just because they'll be able to get more spectator revenue to fund the event and make it awesome again.
It was $1 million event.
Yeah, and it probably barely broke even.
A quarter million went to the fighter prize money.
Yeah,
and then everything else went to production.
Right. Yeah, they should keep it. It was awesome, and I think next year it'll be an even bigger showing because this one went so well.
So what they're thinking next time is either Vegas or Kazakhstan. And I was like, they cannot be serious about Kazakhstan.
Oh my God.
I do not want to go back to. I'm not nothing against Kazakhs or the Kazakh people or the country, but that it's fucking far, man. And like no one will compete well. No one. Do you remember how you felt when we went out there?
It was terrible.
I felt like shit, man. I felt like I had 30-pound weights attached to each ankle.
Yeah.
I couldn't move.
That was when I fought Ali.
Yeah, and I fought Arnaldo.
And it was like when I first started trying to really bulk up, and I just had terrible cardio. And then we went there, and it was just like...
I felt horrible, man.
I was just dying.
I felt horrible.
Whole fight.
So, I would really like it not to be in Kazakhstan, but...
Who knows? Yeah, maybe they'll make it like a permanent fixture in America.
I've heard the Kazakhs have some pretty heavy influence.
Really?
Well, they know because anyone can bid to be the organizer for ADCC.
Oh, really?
Mo just placed a bid and he happened to win. So anyone can do it. Like you can do it. You can apply. Anyone can apply to be the head organizer of ADCC.
Well, Mo did such an amazing job with Seth and who's the other guy?
Sean Fowler.
So
I thought the three of them were a phenomenal team.
I bet Mo will do it again. Like he'll bid again, try and do it again.
So Mo's the one that wants it in Vegas, and then the Kazakhs want to bring it, or maybe it's the Russians. The Russians want to put it in Kazakhstan.
How cool would it be to be at like Mandalay Bay or something, like an awesome, like a real event center?
I think it'd be so much easier for people in the U.S. to travel to Vegas.
Vegas is super easy to get to.
The flights are cheap.
Yeah. Hotels are cheap.
It's set up for tourism. They have the arenas in Vegas are fucking awesome.
The only thing is the jiu-jitsu community in Vegas is pretty small. Like not that many people actually do just jiu-jitsu and train there. It's not that many gyms.
Vegas was like back in 2002, 2003, 2004. Vegas was it.
It was the spot.
That was the only place you could go to a grappling tournament. That's where Grappler's Quest was. And if you wanted to compete in jiu-jitsu, you had to go to Vegas.
Because back then people were only doing jiu-jitsu in America because of UFC, and that's where UFC was. And so all the MMA gyms were there, and that's where you learned jiu-jitsu.
Right.
It's from the MMA gyms. They weren't Brazilian jiu-jitsu gyms opening everywhere like there are now. But yeah, it was just so cool, and I was so sad that I didn't get to fight, man. I felt like I could have done well.
You didn't even have a desire to go?
I wanted to, but dude, people come up to me and take pictures and try and shake my hand and stuff at tournaments.
You could have hid out in the back room or behind away from the spectators.
Well, not only that, but I was like going to doctor's appointments and like on medication that I had to take 5 times a day, and like I wasn't really in a position to just go chill up there for a day or two.
If you guys could see Keenan's eye, you would understand why he didn't go. It looks absolutely horrendous.
I have a video of it of the worst day.
Let me see it again.
It's better right now. It's opening up but this is
it's so funny that we recorded episode 8 and I was looking. I looked exactly like you this, with the glasses on.
But that was for you. Was this as bad as it got? Like the looks wise?
Yeah,
it didn't get worse than this. So my left eye looked like my right eye, and my right eye was swollen like a freaking
shut.
Yeah, it was swollen shut and sticking out like a tennis ball in my face.
Oh my God.
and I couldn't see out of this one, and definitely couldn't see out of this one. I have a video of me trying to open my eyes with my fingers, and I couldn't open my eyelids, like trying to, like I couldn't pull the eyelids apart because of the swelling. It was so bad.
Have you put any ice on it?
No.
You should do that. It helps.
Should have, yeah. Everyone's been like, the internet says like warm compresses, but
warm compress is good for getting it to drain.
Yeah.
And then I
just don't know.
I don't know. What I'm talking
There's just so much stuff I'm supposed to put in it all the time. I have like 3 different eye drops,
right?
3 different medications I have to take. I don't even know what else to do. So I'm trying to wait it out. Yeah.
Hey, how do we see how long we've been recording?
I have it right here on my phone. It's 1 hour and 2 minutes.
Okay, good. Yeah. Good. Lucas was going to try to join us, guys, but he couldn't because he had a private lesson. I told him to cancel his private lesson and come talk to us, but he couldn't.
Dude, I need to start scheduling private lessons with the Atos guys. Do you think they'll teach me private lessons?
Who would you do your first lesson with?
I want to do a lesson with Keenan. I want to do a lesson with Lucas. I want to just like do it with all of them so I can roll with them.
Just going to pay for an hour of training?
Yeah. Can I do that? I can do that. Right?
I guess. Yeah. I guess that would. Yeah. I mean, I don't see them saying no to you and paid to come train.
I mean, if they do private lessons, I mean, it's a harder private lesson though, for sure.
I don't think you need to pay them to get them to come train. I think you just need to choose a convenient time.
I know.
It's not that they don't want to train with you. It's just a timing conflict.
I know, but that they can only come once. If I was able to train with those guys, it don't be a once a week.
Bro, if you want to train, I'll train with you.
Okay.
We'll just fix your eye.
Yeah. But I mean, people have their schedules, and sometimes you just need to, give them some extra motivation, which is fine.
Okay.
And I'm all about supporting the athletes. That's what my gym is going to be all about. Is trying to support the athletes.
Yeah, what's up with that? Because people keep asking me like where your gym is, and I was like, guys, I've never even seen it. I don't even know if it really exists. I think it's a mythological place that doesn't actually exist.
No, you can see it on
Google
Google Maps.
You have no videos or nothing, pictures. Have you put up anything showing that this place is real?
I've showed the inside it. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing in it yet.
The lease is signed, right? It's yours.
Yeah, I've had it for 2 months.
Like what? And you're just sitting on it.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the mats.
When are they coming?
They should be here in like 2 weeks or less.
What'd you go with?
Zebra.
I like Zebra.
Yeah,
they're gonna be fresh mats.
They gave me a big discount for like sponsorship and then a payment plan. And so because I'm putting so much money into everything that it just made sense to be able to space out the payments on the mats.
Yeah,
so I went with them. But no, it exists. It's real. The contractor is in there like laying plumbing.
He's working on it right now.
Yeah.
Doing the build out.
Yeah, we still have to get permits to like actually put up walls and stuff, but like the stuff in the concrete to like put some water lines for like a sink in like a staff room. So what's really cool about my gym is not like it has a huge amount of mat space, but I'm making like two really legit studio spaces. So for people who want to come and like film with me for, products or whatever, I'll have a really awesome setup for that.
For Keenan Online.
For Keenan Online. Or, I mean, I do a lot of other stuff too. Like I can produce DVDs for someone else without my name attached to it at all. I have all the infrastructure set up to do that, and I've done it successfully for myself. So like opening the gym was a dual purpose thing because yes, I want to be able to teach and train, but I also needed office spaces. Like I need office for my website because I have it's growing, it's big. So, yeah, and I'll be teaching, and I have one person who's going to help me teach when I open, but it's a secret who right now. And
it's Gordon.
No, I was trying to get them to just move to California. I was like, they want to move to California anyways because they all hate it in New York. But
fuck, the weather is horrible. I'm not going to bash New York at all, but the weather is just difficult.
It's not like the weather. Yes, it's terrible. But what makes the weather really terrible is the transportation in the weather. Like if it's super hot, the subways are 20 degrees hotter. If it's super cold,
really gets hot down there,
dude, it gets so hot in the subways. It can be a nice day outside and the subways are 100 degrees.
That's gross.
Yeah. So it's like super hot underground, which doesn't make sense because usually underground would be cooler.
Stays the same temperature.
It seems like it would stay cool, but it's super hot in there. It must be the trains give off a lot of heat or something.
The friction.
So yeah. So they want to move out there, but John has been at Henzo's for 20 years. I think he's just comfortable there and happy. So
they would only move.
They would only move if John
moved.
So I told him if he wants to open his gym within my gym, he can do it. I was like, you can have your no-gi thing and just have it be your own thing. You can just use my mat space.
They said nah.
I mean, I just offered. He didn't say yes or no.
So your mystery instructor is for gi or no gi?
Gi. Yeah.
And this is going to be your right hand helper instructor person?
Yeah, I mean, it's not permanent necessarily, but
Who's going to teach your nogi?
Me for now. I'm going to try and acquire, some
Who's going to
help.
teach your kids?
I don't have a kids instructor yet. I've been sending out offers to people.
Interesting.
But why are you interested? You want to teach the kids?
I can't even make it to my own kids class. Like I missed more than half of them the past 3 months.
What if it was like worth your while though? Is it different?
To be honest, man, I don't
care.
I don't even think. I don't know.
Well, that's what it comes down to. So I'm looking to find someone who really wants to do it.
I've been busy.
Yeah,
got a lot of stuff going on.
Well, you're going to be doing a lot of podcasts at my gym, anyways. So sorry, Josh, we got to end the podcast. You got to go teach the kids class. I'm just kidding.
But are you going to have a nice podcast space for us?
Yeah, that's why I'm building the place, dude, to fuel all of my projects. The whole thing is a huge investment. Beyond
when do you think you're going to finish?
I'm opening November 1st in 1 month.
Oh,
regardless of
1 month from today.
Yeah, because the mats will be there and set up. I have functional showers and bathrooms. The only thing that won't be finished is like the studios that I'm building. I'm building like in a studio.
Those are not necessary.
Yeah, they're not necessary for the business. The studio, it has like the infinity wall, so it's like a curved wall, so it's like looks super clean, like you're in the Matrix white room or whatever. I have like office spaces for employees who work on my other stuff, as well as in the gym. I have the locker rooms being built, but technically people can just change in the bathroom until it's fully built. And then the mats will be down, and I'll just have a front desk with a computer. That's all you need.
Who's going to work your front desk?
Sunshine, probably. I prefer to have a front desk girl because they're more approachable.
More approachable than Sunshine, that's for sure. What is that?
Your phone was ringing, I think.
It's not mine.
I'm on airplane mode.
Someone's calling me on my laptop. It's Lucas. It's stupid. He says he's here.
It's running a little late there, pal.
I think he's here. I think he's going to walk in the door in a second.
Well, we got another 20 minutes.
Yeah.
If he wants to join in at the end.
Hey, what did you think of Fionn?
I didn't see the armbar. That was one of the matches I missed.
Bro.
I heard it was crazy, though.
Brutal.
Where was it from?
I don't remember how the scramble happened, but she got the inverted triangle from the back, like the way you did on Dean.
Oh, okay.
And just
ripped the arm.
Yeah. It's basically like the exact same position you had on Dean Lister and just ripping the arm.
That's a super strong arm bar.
And
Bia didn't tap, huh?
I couldn't believe how long she didn't tap. I couldn't believe the elbow was out, dislocated completely. And she just kept spinning and twirling. And then I thought to myself, well, it's already fucked. So, and you've already decided to not tap. So what's to keep her from not? I mean, I guess at some point you got to think, oh my God, my arm is getting so fucked. Like I need to stop.
Yeah.
Like that's what it comes down to. And I was talking to someone about the other day. It's like, after you let one of your joints go, like you sacrifice it, like how much time has to go by before you're like, okay, I should tap. But it's like, fuck, you already let the damage happen. So like,
was she up on points or anything? Or
I don't remember.
I feel like the only time that it's okay to let your stuff break,
if it's almost out of time,
is if like time's running out and you know that like, if your foot breaks or your arm breaks, there's only 20 seconds left or a minute and you're up multiple points, and there's just very little chance of them winning as long as you don't tap.
Yeah.
But if it's like you're just not tapping to not tap and it's like a close fight and they're like on your back and there's there's 5 minutes left, it's like, just save yourself, dude.
There was a few times when Adam attacked my arm, and I thought to my arm was completely extended and turned over, and I thought, I was like, I'm not gonna tap. Like even it's only the quarterfinals, but I was like, this is like the medal round.
Yeah. Well, I think you also know there's positions that if you don't tap, they lose a lot of leverage. Right. Like arm bars from guard. Like if you stand up and don't tap, it's pretty hard for someone to break your arm while they're suspended off the ground because they don't have anything to push off of.
It could pop.
It'll pop, but it's not necessarily like. And the thing about arm bars is they don't break the bones. It just breaks the elbow capsule and dislocates it.
Yeah.
Apparently that's what happens with Kimuras too. Like if you don't tap to a Kimura, it doesn't fuck up your shoulder. Your elbow dislocates usually.
Oh yeah, it happened in the trials.
Yeah.
Right, when the little guys.
Which it doesn't make sense because it's a shoulder lock.
Do you remember that 2017 trials when it was one of Henzo's guys, and I forgot who it was. Maybe it was Taza.
So that's actually what I learned that at Henzo's, because I've never seen someone break from a Kimura, but apparently
I think you can't blanket statement that like shoulders can tear.
Yeah, but I think structurally, usually the elbow goes first. Apparently, it's weaker.
The weakest link.
Yeah,
there's less muscle supporting it. Look at all the muscle around the shoulder.
Yeah, so much.
All the
not
yours. Mine maybe, but not yours.
Yeah, people are making fun of me on a YouTube video that I posted the other day because I was so thick. But it was before I left to go train.
You look skinny.
I am right now because I haven't been eating. I haven't been able to get food, man. I've had to only eat Postmates and
Because you haven't been able to drive anywhere?
Yeah.
Has your girlfriend been driving you around?
No, I had to kick everyone out. Like, no one can be around me, so I've just been alone in my apartment.
Postmates all day?
Postmates, and just, like, can't even look at computer screens. I just sit there. I've been listening to audiobooks. I'm listening to the Elon Musk biography.
Let me go open the door and see if Lucas is really here.
Okay.
You just keep talking to yourself.
Yeah. This is when having a live chat would be nice. Let's check the internet. He's probably just messing with you.
There. I'll just left the door open for him. He could walk in. I was going to say, it doesn't matter. He doesn't ever knock. He just walks in. Bro, he'll barge into my bedroom.
Really?
Yeah, like I'll be like my front door won't be locked. I'll be in my room, and then he'll literally just barge into my bedroom.
He does that at my house. He'll come into my house when I'm not even there, and he doesn't know if I'm there or not. He'll open the door and go into my house and like check the rooms to see if I'm there without telling me. Like, he did that one time when he walked in on my girlfriend.
She was home and you weren't.
She was home and I wasn't. I was downstairs. I was like in my basement or in the garage working out, and he like walked into the bedroom. She was like in the bed, like, "Oh my God, what are you doing?"
I will literally be in bed sometimes, and I'll hear my door open, and he'll poke his head in, and if I'm like asleep, he'll like go back out, and I'm just like, "What the fuck?" Like, I mean, we used to live here. We used to live together, so I get
right.
it.
And he lived at my house too, so it was kind of the same thing. But he had moved out and then came back as if he was still living.
He still lays claim to the territory.
Yeah, so funny. They're like, I've been back to my house, and I'll like see other people's stuff in my house that's not even Lucas's, and it's like he came there with some friends and like hung out while I was gone.
Oh my God, he was the most difficult person to live with. He's
so funny though. Funny to hang out with.
Well, I was hoping he would help join us on this fucking episode, but
it's okay. There's many more episodes.
Are you gonna be around more consistently?
Dude, I didn't know you had this, dude. This thing fucking can call people. You literally could have called me for any of the podcasts.
I just got it.
Well, read the instructions, man.
I did my first episode with Stuart.
They give you the whole instructions on big cardboard cutouts with pictures just for you.
Yeah, I want to call Mateus.
It's so easy. You just Bluetooth your phone to it and call it.
I actually told him a while ago. I said we're gonna call you, and he gave me his phone number to call him, so he's ready to chime in.
In the future, we should take calls and just like tell them you only have to be on for like 15 minutes. We can call multiple people. It doesn't necessarily have to be a whole podcast, because a lot of times phone reception's bad, the quality's bad, but it'd be cool to call people, and you definitely can.
What I don't understand is why everybody kept asking me where you are. And I was like, it's not a secret. Like, what do you get? I didn't understand why people said like, when's Keenan coming back? I was like, if you guys follow the podcast, you probably follow Keenan's Instagram, and you can obviously see that he's on the East Coast. So,
but they don't know when I'm coming back or when I'm going to.
Well, so why are they asking me? Like, how am I supposed to know when you're?
Because they don't know that we only talk on the podcast. This is me and Josh. Like, the way we interact on the podcast, people probably think we talk every day like this, just like I call you or something. But me and Josh haven't spoken for months, and our first interaction was us yelling at each other on Facebook because he was insulting me.
I did not insult you.
You said I wasn't pulling my weight.
No, I said you disappeared without telling me anything.
No,
but you did.
You had some very...
Bro, you messaged me from the East Coast and to tell me that you're on the East Coast.
You knew I was going to the East Coast. I told you.
I said, what are you doing? How are we supposed to record? Like,
yeah, I didn't message you after messaging you 20 times to train, of which you never trained with me. So, yeah, I left to the East Coast. I tried to train with you a billion times.
Well, I'll take that as a compliment. Because I didn't train with you, you felt the need to relocate across the country.
Yeah, I didn't have any training partner. I mean, I was driving 3 hours to Northridge every 2 days. And I freaking crashed my Tesla, dude.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, I crashed it.
Shut up.
Yeah, I thought the autopilot was on. It wasn't.
Shut the fuck up. Are you serious right now?
Yes. It's in the shop right now.
Are you
$7,000 to fix? Hopefully my insurance.
You seriously? You crashed it?
Yeah, not bad though.
Like fender bender.
Fender bender, yeah.
What'd you hit?
A van.
You rear-ended them?
Rear-ended it. Yeah. I've never been in a car accident in my life. So what happened was
my first accident was rear-ending a van also.
Really? Yeah, I've never crashed a car ever. I've hit inanimate objects before, like a wall. Like I've scraped up my car on the wall and stuff.
Bro, you crashed the Tesla? What the fuck?
Yeah, I crashed it. So I was going through you're in full Nogi gear. Did you come straight from your thing?
Oh, shoot. There you are.
Yeah, I can't touch you, dude.
Don't touch him. Don't touch him, Lucas.
It's dangerous, for real. Don't come near me.
I miss you, dude.
I miss you too.
We got Lucas in the house. Look, bro.
I've been watching you from afar.
Bro, your microphone's over here. But we don't really have a chair for you. You can pull up this chair.
My stuff. You can move that box.
Yeah, just be careful with the cables, bro. We're like an hour in. So we can stick around for. Oh, you smell, bro. You smell.
Smells like no-gi.
You smell like. Oh my. Keenan, be careful.
What?
Don't be fucking with cables.
No, I'm just plugging his mic in. Let's test it.
Yeah, you smell like. Put that rash guard outside, bro. Seriously, you smell like stank right now.
It's rocket shirt.
That's the Brazilian smell.
Man, you're looking kind of skinny, Lucas. What happened? Where you lost all your muscle mass?
I woke up this morning with 223 pounds.
Holy shit.
223 pounds.
The Hulk is back.
Yeah.
When was the last time you were that heavy? Brown belt?
I've never been that heavy.
Never. Damn, dude, you look like Andre. You got the same traps, the same pecs, same biceps.
Turn it around.
You're massive.
Or if you want, you can go outside and get the chair that's higher. It's like a little higher, but it's a pain in the ass. Be careful, don't break those. Oh, sorry for the commotion, guys. While this is what Lucas does. He just shows up and just fucking just open them, bro. Open them.
Causes a ruckus.
Open
man.
it. Don't break them. I'm not. Joe, you're so strong. You don't realize how strong you are. You broke my rib and didn't even realize it, bro. Lucas was a side control on me. This is like 2 months ago. He has side control, and I just tried to bridge and turn on my side, and I pulled a rib just because he was squeezing me so hard, and I couldn't go anywhere.
You think you can move, and then it's like you locked down and you couldn't.
Yeah.
But put that thing on the front for him.
Okay. Let's go, Hulky. We haven't really talked.
This haircut looks good on you, man.
I like it.
Yeah, I like your hair. You look freaking tough right now. You look like an MMA fighter that would be in like the UFC video game. Like someone just makes an MMA fighter. You just look like a classic.
Okay.
People are calling me Victor Belfort.
Yeah.
At ADCC because I was with the old school,
Stay close to this. Get in here.
I can hear him good.
Yeah.
Can you hear him?
Oh, yeah, that sounds good. You gotta say about this close.
No, he was fine. You can talk normally. But
don't scream though. Screamer. What's up? Say hi to the people, bro.
Hey, what's up, everyone? Just show up a little bit late. I'm so sorry.
You're not sorry.
No, I was trying to make some money. That's all I was doing.
No, you got it.
yeah, dude. I was telling Josh, you're teaching privates. I'm gonna start trying to get privates from you.
He's gonna pay you.
But it's gonna be 1 hour of sparring only.
Yeah.
Does that count? Would you do a private like that?
I would.
Yeah. I feel like that's a harder private than usual, but I still do it.
Man, I train with this guy that I teach private. He's a really tough guy. Like he's like
who is it?
Archie. He's like 40 something. I don't know, but he's an old dude. But he's a tough
old man,
right? And sometimes we like I teach him some moves, and then we spar.
Yeah.
And sometimes.
It's hard.
We just but he's like it's crazy how privates like give like actually like make people better. It's like I've been doing this like with him like for 1 year, and to see the progression,
his improvements,
it's like
it's real.
It's proving all it's like it's crazy. And sometimes look, man, I trained with him for 1 hour just sparring.
Yeah,
yeah, and it was like
it's probably his improvements
like
probably even better versus you because you're teaching him your moves. So it's like you're kind of building yourself in someone else.
Exactly, and he actually does like everything they move because people forget moves, and he's like, he knows my game already, and then he started playing, and then like it feels tough for me sometimes. It's like, and I have to bring some guy to. Like to spar with him because it's tough to be.
Sometimes you don't want to train hard.
For 1 hour? Oh my god!
I know I'd be pissed.
But I enjoy a lot.
If I was training hard and someone wanted a private with me and I went and they're like, yeah, I just want to spar the whole time and they're actually really tough, I'd be like, oh
okay,
my God.
check this out. So when I was in Japan at Carpe Diem, they asked me that one of the owners of the gym asked me for a private lesson. Of course, I said yeah because this guy paid for everything my whole trip, and. He's not a competitor or anything. He's just a dude that likes jiu-jitsu and he's a businessman, right? Mm-hmm. And then they go like, oh, he goes, I'm not feeling too good. Like, is it okay if I give the private lesson to Sotaro? Do you know Sotaro? Mm-mm. He won the trials.
Is a Japanese guy?
Yeah, he's like the best Japanese no-gi grappler. Oh. He looks exactly like you, but Japanese. same body, like jacked, super.
Is it
jacked.
the guy with the bleached hair? He has like highlights. That's
he has no hair.
Else.
No, he has no hair. He's bald and he has got big grappler ears, and he looks like he has Lucas's body. Basically, he looks like a really really tough motherfucker, and he is. And basically, I thought, okay, yeah, and he loves guillotines. Also, he came to my seminar. We talked a little bit. He's an MMA fighter too. But anyways, the point is they gave the private lesson to him, and then he's just like, I just want to train. And he's tough, bro. And I started training with him, but it was him and another guy, and they basically wanted to Shark Tank me one after the other. And I was like, wow. I did one round with each of them, bro. And I had a belly full of stomach.
And you're probably jet lagged too.
I had a belly full of food because I thought I was just teaching for an hour. I didn't expect to train for an hour. And they're like, and then the other guy wanted to train also. So I did one round with each of them, and I was like wiped out already. I was like, oh my God, I'm not ready for this. It's 9 a.m. and I have a belly full of breakfast. And then I was like, you guys got to go one round.
Intermission.
I got to digest, Oh,
man.
But, bro, within the first 30 seconds of training with him, he put me in a go-go plata. And I was like, no fucking way. I will not tap to this. Like, he will have to break me or kill me or something. Because, like, everyone's watching on the side,
Yeah.
And I was like, I cannot be caught with a go-go plata. No chance.
Do you roll when you go to seminars and stuff?
I have to denote that I
Has anyone ever
escaped.
tapped you at a seminar?
No, yeah, but I've really been in very tough situations because you try on the seminar, you try to be tough,
of course,
try to beat down to everyone.
You definitely
but
you
they
fight
want
hard.
to beat you so bad, and so
of course,
like I was training with this dude in Greece. He was huge. And then
I got tapped in Greece at a seminar.
Oh yeah,
by a blue belt.
I remember you telling me about that.
But yeah, man, like it was like I was doing like first point, first submission, right? And I started with this dude, and he was like, blah, 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 blah. Started like sweep me, go to the mount. It was like, oh my God, and everybody's watching.
Yeah.
It was like I just turned my back instead. He was trying to put a hook. I skipped. It was like, oh, man, we made like a really hard battle, and I swapped him. And after it was just, guys, that's it.
I'm done. I swapped him. I got 2 points. I'm done.
Yeah.
I was in Arizona. It was my last seminar I did, I think. And I rolled with like 25 people. And some guy had brought like his 2 Brazilian kids who were like living there in Arizona and training. They were from Brazil, and they're super tough purple belts. Oh. And like round 25, I went with the first purple belt. And I was like, oh, this guy's good. Like, he was actually good. Like, as tough as any tough purple belt world champion you'll ever train with, And I roll with him, and I can't tap him or score for like 20 minutes. What? Yeah, like so long. And I finally tap the kid, and then his buddy comes out, and I go right next with his friend, who was just as good, purple belt. And it was like another 20 minutes. I couldn't score. I was just dead tired, just like playing only like defensive positions until I could finally get like a worm guard grip to sweep and control.
I always listen to everyone talk about each other at seminars because everyone always kind of like, oh, let's see him go with Bill, And it's like, and they're like, who's Bill? And I try to, it's like, that's like the guy, that guy that I think they think has the best chance to fuck me up,
Right.
And I always try to listen to the names and the way that the tone of their voice and how they talk about them. And I'm like, and that's how I decide, like, how tough is this guy? How hard do I got to go with him from the beginning?
Like, I think Japan, they really like rolling with you. They like, because when I do them in seminars, sometimes they put like first point for submission, so everybody can train. But there, like they like just like I put some groups, but then like, all right, guys, let's start. And then it was starting, and then everybody go to the wall, and they're all waiting like to make like a kind of like a shark tank.
Right? Yeah.
I was like, what? And this been happening like every time they go train there, they always.
Do you put other groups down though?
Yeah, I do.
But sometimes people don't go, right?
Yeah, like no, I want to watch it, and sometimes like no, I was just gonna stop and I'll go with him again. And
people
they just
always
come keeping over and over. It's like, all right, guys, come on, that's it.
People always start off like doing the rounds what they're supposed to do. I'll put like 8 groups down, first point, first submission, and then like have it be like Rodizio.
Yeah.
But then like 20 minutes in, everyone stops rolling. I look around, I'm the only person on the mat.
All watching.
And they're all watching. I'm like, dude, I've only rolled with like 10 of you, and you're all resting now.
Right.
Like, do you really expect me to be able to roll with 50 of you while you're fresh in a row? And I'm like, okay, like sorry to be a jerk about this, but if you're not rolling, I can't train with you. So like, make sure you're training.
Fair,
do you remember episode 2 when I said this exact same thing, and you were like, "Oh, that's your ego." Remember that?
Yeah,
do you remember that
ego.
conversation?
I mean, yes, technically it's ego, but it's
no, insecurity. That's what you said. It's insecurity. That's
I don't remember the exact
You
conversation.
gave me shit. You said, "Oh, Josh, you're just being insecure."
Right. Everyone's at like, but not all of the gyms do
it's
that.
It's an etiquette thing, man. It's like, come
Sometimes
on.
do that.
Like, I don't need to be Shark Tanked right now.
Yeah. It depends on how tired you are. Like if you're not in the best shape, you can't make it through an hour Shark Tank with 40 fresh guys.
Man, that was in Greece. It was hot as hell.
Yeah.
And it was
Humid too.
Yeah, it was totally different. That was jet lag, and it was like, man, I can't make it. I can't finish all the rounds of all these guys. It was super hot.
Now what I do is I only roll until the seminar was supposed to end. I used to make sure I roll with everyone, but now I just do the full hour, and then at like 3 o'clock when the seminar is supposed to end, I'm like, thanks. If you didn't get to roll, sorry.
You gotta set limits, bro.
Yeah, now I do that. That used to be my thing though. Is I'd just make sure always to train with everyone every single time. So hard.
And I'm planning to go like in Europe right now. So a lot of people like been messaging me from Poland. Man, and people from Poland,
they're
super
good.
They're good. They're good, bro. I know.
I'm kind of like, I don't know what I'm gonna do if it happens. I'm not there. Imagine like a lot of people from Poland trying to try to thank you. I was just like, guys,
because you know all the best Polish guys from every gym are gonna go. Yeah, it's not like it's gonna be the one Polish guy,
and they go like porrada all the time. And they're because
Poland takes their jiu-jitsu seriously. Like they'll all be there to train with you. If one good black belt comes, they'll be there. You'll have to fight Lubinski. Bro, you'll have to fight.
There's a lot of
Polish Worm.
There was a lot of Polish dudes in Thailand too, right?
Yeah.
There was always a group of Polish dudes in Thailand, like at Tiger Muay Thai.
I seen a lot of Dagestan.
Oh yeah, Dagestanis. Yeah.
Who's tougher, Dagestan or Poland?
It's different.
It's different. I think for wrestling, Dagestani for sure.
Yeah. Like for Nogi Jiu-Jitsu,
grappling.
What is it about Eastern Europeans that are just so tough, man? Is it like the harshness that they've gone through history has just bred these incredibly resilient humans?
Honestly, yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
yeah.
Seriously,
honestly, like they've had
the weak ones didn't survive.
They've had a rough history, man. Like being under the Soviet Union and dealing with World War II, and I mean, I'm sure their grandparents were the real hard asses, and it just kind of like they just passed along that hard assness to their kids.
Of all the different groups of different nations that have come through, like Autos, for instance, over the years, it's always the Polish group that's just like, these guys are all tough.
You know, it's a fight.
Like every one of these guys is going to be tough, and they're not going to tap.
And that's honestly when I had to go up against Adam. That's what I was thinking. I was like, all right, dude.
It's crazy that Adam is like the best competitor out of there, right?
Yeah. He won the trials.
And he doesn't look the toughest. He literally looked like a surfer yogi.
It's because of the guys, the Polish people, that I believe the European trials is quite difficult.
Yeah.
Especially Nogi, because I think they prefer Nogi.
Right.
Right? Would you agree? The Polish
I don't know.
People prefer Nogi.
I think they have the they wear the pants and
I feel like they all prefer Nogi. You don't think so? I mean, Adam is in the Polish Worm Rider. What's his name? I don't know his real name.
I don't even know how to pronounce it. It's Meixon.
Okay.
I don't know how to say it.
Polish Worm Rider.
I just call him the Polish Worm.
Yeah. Who's the Polish Hammer?
I don't know, but there's another guy. His name's Lubinski, who's much better at the lapel than the Polish Worm. Like he knows the entire lapel system. He trains with Leandro a lot. Like he goes to Leandro's to train, and that's why Leandro's so good at shutting down Worm, because he has Lubinski, and Lubinski's literally like does it perfectly.
Super good.
He like literally plays lapel guard perfectly. So I never knew that, but apparently that's where he goes.
Well, shout out to Poland. You guys are badass.
Yeah.
We like you. We like training with you. Just not all at once in a Shark Tank style.
So how'd you feel at ADCC, man?
Yeah, talk to us.
Yeah,
what was your experience like there?
I love it. I feel that I could. I don't know. I think like I have good matches. Tough matches.
Yeah.
And that
I didn't get to see your match with Patrick.
Dude, it was a nail biter.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was close, man.
Yeah.
It was ref decision?
Yeah, it was ref decision.
Man.
So something happened. He like took you down, but you guys went into the table and they reset it, right?
They stopped before, but
they were angry about that.
Yeah, they were angry about that, but
that's
still, I give him like a lot of like couple takedowns and I end up on his back. Mm-hmm. I was entry more shots, but that but when it comes to a ref decision, people always gonna be complaining, but so
at that point you just don't have control anymore.
Exactly, but it was a good fight.
So how many guys did you fight?
I fought 3 times. I was supposed to fight for the 3rd place, but Vinny he didn't want to fight. He just gave up for the 3rd place. And
so you get 3rd place now.
Yeah, I got 3rd
place.
Ooh,
so you got paid.
I got paid.
Nice.
Yeah, at least.
3rd place pays good. I've done it a few times. It's nice. You feel like shit.
How many medals do you have? Like
I have 3. I have 2 thirds and 2 silvers.
Okay.
But you always
really?
Feel like
you have 4 ADCC medals?
Yeah.
I guess the open class,
did
right?
you put in all of them?
Huh?
Did you pull it in?
I fought in every ADCC except this one because my eye. This would have been my 4th, but the first ADCC I did as a brown belt, I double bronzed.
Oh, that was good then.
That was China, right?
Yeah.
China, yeah.
When you had was
No,
that
no.
what,
Yeah, it was China, yeah.
where was Brazil when your shorts were falling off your butt?
Yeah.
That was Brazil.
I get such bad luck when the main tournaments come around. I think it's because like I'm stressed. Shit just goes wrong. Like I get sick or something. Because in Sao Paulo, I got really sick, and I like during the weight cut, I like overcut because I got sick. So I like cut to the weight, and then got sick, and then lost another like 8 pounds, and my shorts would not stay on because I was so skinny for 88.
I remember.
And then the same thing happened in Finland. I got I got sick, like really sick. JT was in my room, and JT was freaking out because I was so sick, and he didn't want to get sick. And I had like a stomach flu or something. Ooh. And so I lost a bunch of weight then. I felt fine on the tournament day, but before I lost a lot of weight. I just had bad luck, and now my eye's falling out of my head.
Melting. Literally just melting.
Yeah.
What?
Did you guys talk about the guys that were with pink eye there? No.
Oh, everyone has.
Oh, yeah. That was the first 30 minutes.
Oh,
Bro,
yeah,
I'd also want to say Mateus Denise had a big fat ringworm on his neck. Did you notice that?
Yeah?
He had it right here.
At least ringworm won't take you out of
I had it right here on his neck, bro.
Come on.
I looked at it really closely. But
yeah, I wonder what the cutoff is. Like, at what point can you complain and say they shouldn't be able to compete in the division?
that's a good question.
Because there's no rule about that. Like,
the problem is you're going to look like a little bitch.
Yeah.
if
right?
you say something.
If you complain.
Really?
You're going to look like a little bitch.
I feel like it's totally a valid concern.
It is a concern, for sure.
It is.
It is. But let's say you had, I don't know, something, and someone complained. Like, what are you gonna do? You're gonna be like, shut up, you little bitch. Like, you just don't want to fight me.
Okay, but say
maybe
if I showed up to ADCC with how my eye looked on ADCC day.
Oh my god.
Like, I'm literally.
It depends, like what you have, you know.
Yeah.
I think it depends. Like if you're just sick,
Well, you
like,
can
you
lie.
have a
So it's
fever,
crazy. Yeah.
You know, like I think you still can go there and fight.
Right. That's a good point. Like, people could fight with a serious contagious illness that doesn't look like anything. They could fight with like hepatitis and you wouldn't know.
Well, that's a sexually transmitted disease. So,
but I mean, you can get
it's
bloodborne diseases through bloody fights.
It's possible.
Oh,
yeah.
Like
it's
for
possible.
sure, Nick Rodriguez has whatever Orlando has. His blood was all over his face. Like, it was just in his eyes and mouth. Yeah.
It was?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they were
Did you
face to
see
face
it?
the entire time.
I didn't see it. I didn't see it, bro.
Yeah, Nick had his blood all over him.
I seriously.
Oh really?
Orlando's blood. Yeah.
I didn't see that.
I haven't watched.
Did you see that match?
I didn't see that match.
Oh, dude,
I
it was
didn't know
crazy.
They were like.
Nick literally just kept grabbing Orlando's head and just
Smashing
smashing his face into
like Carbolito style,
Yes.
right?
Just like this, snap.
That's like
out,
Carbolito and
this,
Lucas
snap
at brown
out.
belt. You and Carbolito at brown belt,
yeah.
just forehead grinding, just
I used to leave my every fight that I used to leave, like I had like
forehead all fucked up.
Yeah, it was like
Carbolito got a staph infection on his forehead from doing that.
Yeah.
Probably against you, actually.
Yeah, it was violent, man. But
So, okay, what if I think if it's a life-threatening disease, then obviously.
But I mean, you don't know, like, people don't know, man.
Yes,
I could have come, like, what if I came with an eye patch and was just like, oh yeah, I got punched in the eye, and someone asked me to see it,
And actually, you had
swollen.
SARS,
Yeah, I don't know.
bird flu.
I didn't tell. I don't think I posted anything publicly until I had already kind of decided that I wasn't going to make it because
I know.
I knew the viral disease, or not disease. Is it a disease? It's not a disease.
It's an infection.
The viral infection can last a month, and I'd only had it for like 8 days, and ADCC was in 4 days. I was just like, I don't think I'm going
told
to
you.
heal. So I had to tell Mo. But some of the guys apparently were like, who may have been exposed, were like worried about me telling people what it was because it is so intense, and they were like, if Keenan tells people what it is, we're not going to be able to compete because it's like bad, you know, if they have it. But I don't think anyone had it nearly as bad as I did.
I didn't talk shit on Craig until the second day. He was already in the tournament, already moving on second day. And then I trolled him.
Yeah, and I was like, I mean, no one else had the symptom. Like, it was just extra. It seemed worse than it was because I got it so much worse than anyone else who had it.
Yeah, I wonder why. Why do you got it
I
so bad?
I think I literally, my immune system was compromised from Pan Ams, and I think I was exposed to it before Pan Ams, and it was in my eye already, but I didn't have the symptoms yet, and so it weakened my immune system, and then I got staph in my eye from Pans.
I don't think I ever.
Batista had it really bad, right?
Yeah.
Batista had it worse than everyone.
Yeah.
Everyone at Autos, I think.
He had the both eye actually.
Yeah.
What could he see?
No, it swelled shut.
No,
Both
man.
swollen shut.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, it's about the same. My right eye was completely swollen shut, and then at a certain point, my left eye was almost swollen completely shut too.
Mine never completely closed. I had always had a little tiny slit that I could see out of.
But
Really?
yours was pretty bad.
Yeah,
too.
mine was
Look
pretty.
at mine, Lucas, right now.
Look at that shit.
Oh, looks sexy. Can you record that?
They can see it. It's still bad.
You got it.
I'm on day 15 or 16, and it still looks like this.
Oh,
Over 2 weeks.
look at mine.
Yeah, Lucas looking good.
Yeah, that was and then that was the thing too. Everyone else got punched in one eye at ADCC. Everyone had swollen eyes from getting punched too. So everyone
Actually,
was,
my eye got kind of scratched up too.
so everyone was probably just like, "What's in your eye? What's in your eye?" But I just was extra worried because if I went and tried to like compete and keep it a secret, like I would be ostracized from the community forever if everyone got it and everyone was suffering like that and everyone knew that it was me because I had the freaking eye fucked up.
Yeah, you're right.
And then like all of jiu-jitsu gets it now because I got it all over the mats
and
and
you
like
do a lot too much shit too. So
yeah, it was just like I couldn't do it.
I'm just really sick and tired of people making farting on pillow jokes.
Yeah,
Like, let's get
because it's
over it.
not. Well, first of all, because it's this. That's not what causes it.
It's not even pink eye.
Normal pink eye that is caused by if it like that bacteria, E. coli bacteria or something. It goes away in a day with eye drops.
Right.
This takes 30 days, and antibiotics do nothing. It's literally a virus that just eats your eyeballs. It's not pink eye.
It's not pink eye, and the farting on pillow jokes is just super stupid.
I could see.
So,
I bet you got that so much that I could just see your
I
face.
swear
just
to God,
being
like
pissed.
100 messages.
Yeah.
Like it's just you guys really
did too.
can't think of anything better.
I always, it's really funny when you have a lot of Instagram followers and something happens and then so many people make the exact same joke.
Yeah.
At a certain point, you're just like, oh my God.
I can
this is so
appreciate a good
stupid.
joke, you know, but like,
Right.
come on, let's put some thought into it. Let's get some brain power.
But people
going.
don't assume that everyone's going to make the same easy joke. But it's kind of a funny phenomenon that everyone makes the same joke
Right.
in these situations.
right?
Funny.
Lucas, what do you think was the most like standoutish, eventful thing that happened to ADCC? I'm gonna go with Fiona against Bia. Like when that happened, I just couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe what was
Dude, it's
happening.
definitely Lachlan.
Lachlan too. That was amazing. Yeah.
yeah, that guy.
No one
is
expected
all-
that.
Yeah, the biggest
Yeah.
guy. In the
No one
game.
expected it the first time.
Well,
No one
I
expected
mean-
the second time. And definitely people didn't expect it the third
Yeah,
time.
dude. Let me know when you're gonna make your DVD.
He already made it already.
Yeah, that's the thing. He's already posted that
Yeah, he already
technique
posted
online.
it?
Yeah, he's had it out for a while.
Oh man.
I trained with him a month ago, and he caught me
Updated.
in it too.
He
same move.
saw the guys were Muhammad put it up on Instagram.
Man, those guys, they're not fighting. They because that thing.
They broke their knee, right?
Yeah, they're not fighting the BJJ stars in 2 weeks. They can make it.
Oh,
because
serious?
Yeah, it was fucked up.
Lachlan fucked up the whole.
Dude,
turn.
he didn't go easy on
Nice.
those
Yeah,
heel
no.
hooks. Once he locked it in, he tried
I
to
felt
break
bad,
Well,
it.
of course.
Yeah, I felt bad, but I feel happy at the same time, you know, because I cannot avoid me to fight Muhammad Ali. You see how big he was?
So are
He
you
was
doing
huge.
BJJ stars?
Yeah,
When it's in 2 weeks?
yeah. It's in 2 weeks. October 18th.
Gi or no gi?
Gi
Where is it?
in Brazil.
Oh.
Yeah.
So are you going to Europe first and then there?
No, I'm gonna go there and then after
Oh,
go to
okay,
Europe.
okay.
But yeah, man. Yeah, Muhammad was
260.
huge, man. He was huge.
Man, like I was watching Muhammad fight, and I just don't understand why he doesn't do more offensive movements. Because you see him like let people get to in between his legs, and he's like doing the splits on them. And then when they try to sweep or attack, he does like an explosive movement to
backflip.
he like flips or does like a X guard pass or something. But if he just did that before they do anything, he's probably just going to pass. Like, how are they going to stop his momentum? Like, if you have 260 pounds and you look like one of those aliens from Prometheus, like you're that freaking huge, like you're just going to pass their guard. The second you clear any leg line, you're just following them and you're going to pass. I feel like he could definitely have put like just done some more offensive movements and done really well. Because he's an absolute specimen. The fact that he can front flip while carrying that weight is insane.
Muhammad's always been kind of a freakish looking dude. And I think this was the most extreme version of that I've
Yeah.
ever seen, right? Even when he was a brown belt, he looked like a freak
Yeah,
athlete. and,
something like that.
but like this was another level, man.
Everyone looked really big. ADCC, man. Everyone was looking good.
Yeah, I don't know. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't. How could
I
Muhammad
was
stop?
like 4 kilos, like under the.
You were still
actual-
under,
Yeah,
yeah.
I was not a.
You should really be fighting.
I was.
Yeah, but
I
like
was too.
88,
I was
I
3
think.
kilos under.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I feel that 99, like, it's fine for me, you know. But you know, like I was when I'm in 88 kilos, I feel good fighting against big
Yeah.
guys, and
Yeah.
I've been doing that. Like I'm going at 80, like fighting in absolute. Even when I was medium heavy, like,
I don't think for
But,
you, any weight division
like-
you do, your strength is going to be comparable to the guys at
Yeah,
that weight, but you're just a little bit shorter than some of the bigger guys, and that length can make a difference sometimes.
Yeah,
But the reason they invited you to 99 was because Keenan was in 88. I was in 88. Prez was in 88. That's the reason they invited you to 99. It was Keenan's fault.
It's not my fault.
And then he pulled out, and then he goes to 99.
Well, no, when I moved to 99, that was the first thing I told Mo. I was like, you should see, like, can Lucas switch to 88? And he said no because you guys were still in.
There's already a bunch of us.
So there's already too many people. So 2 is too many.
Yeah.
3, like, you just can't have more than 2. So.
Well, but I had fun fighting at 88. Like, for me, it doesn't matter. 88 or 99 is fine for me. Like,
bro, I'm doing 88 next time.
Next time?
You're gonna do it again?
And Prez told me he'll go to 77 next time.
Oh man, yeah. Finally.
Yeah, that's where he belongs. That's where he belongs,
Yeah.
I think.
Did Mike ever do the trials?
He won the trials a long time ago when he beat Gordon.
Oh, the first trials he won
on the East Coast.
Oh.
And then he's had 3 ADCC appearances since then.
Yeah.
But
I feel like he needs to do the trials again now.
I don't know. Is there like a limit?
I think now the 3 invites. Is it 2 or 3 invites?
He's had 3. No, he earned the first one and then he had 2 invites.
I feel like this doesn't apply to everyone, but it's pretty much like if you medal, you get an invite again.
Right.
But if you don't medal, I think you should have to fight the trials again.
That makes sense.
Like that, or you're just considered it like you shouldn't expect an invite, if you didn't medal.
Unless you did something spectacular.
Yeah, it depends. Like,
Nogi Worlds double gold.
Because like there's some tournaments that you can fight like.
True. Yeah.
That make you IBGF
shows that you deserve
gold,
it. Yeah. True.
It's 2 years, man. You can prove in 2 years.
For sure.
There's a lot of things to do.
Well, I'm just happy that I get an automatic invite next time.
Yeah. How do you know?
Podium.
Oh.
Yeah. I just want to fight Absolute next time.
Yeah. Why didn't you do it this time?
Yeah, because they say that.
This was fucked.
They won one American, one Brazilian, and because Keenan won got first place, and they was giving Keenan the first shot. So
that's weird.
Yeah, Mo came up to me,
and the Brazilian and the American was either like Josh. They were giving you Josh or Perez, but Josh didn't want him. He'd bitch out.
Do they
Don't talk shit to me on my own podcast, bro.
But before this year, they weren't allowing multiple teammates into the Absolute, right?
No.
In the past, it's only one person.
Yeah. So this was the first year they allowed 2 teammates.
And they say they were scared of the guys make fake fight because they think that Keenan kind of would have made a fake fight the last ADCC.
No.
So, yeah.
The only reason people think it was fake is because I had to trick Keenan to beat him. I had to not do heel hooks the whole year.
Yeah, he was playing dip half with it. When he got there, he heel hooked Keenan.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. So it was the first year that they allowed 2 teammates in each division, but they didn't want it. I think it was that they said there was too many Brazilians in the open class and they needed more other nationalities, and so they were trying to get
interesting. Well, I guess because Keenan won the division, I guess.
So Keenan got the priority because he won his division.
Yeah.
And then they gave me a priority over Mike, but I said no because I popped my knee with Mateus trying to pull that Gogo Plata, exactly the same way I did it against Lovato.
Oh yeah.
Trying to pull it and I popped it, dude.
Just submitting yourself.
It's just the same knee, same motion, and I popped it against Arnaldo when I fought Arnaldo 3 weeks ago.
4 or 5 more times and you'll stop. You'll stop.
I mean, it's already fucked. So it's just like I just don't. But I didn't want to completely destroy it because I know there's a 3rd place match.
It's
so
like
I couldn't force. I could have just forced it and didn't give a fuck. But I knew I had one more fight, win or lose.
That's like your final move, like the sacrifice move.
The go-go.
Like you're like, do I have to do it? So I've got to do it. Break my own leg for the go-go.
Yeah.
Ah, shit. I still lost.
Yeah. Well, I feel bad when people let their shit break and then they still end up losing.
Yeah,
that's fucking.
That's why I tapped, dude.
Tragic, man.
I don't want to get caught.
I got caught in a Google Plata one time.
You did?
It was bad. I don't like that position.
It's so embarrassing.
Yeah, it's embarrassing. I was like, nah, fuck no. But I was super tired, and this kid, he was like flexible, and he Google Plata me. I was like, I'm gonna break his leg, so I'm just trying to force myself.
So you're driving into the choke?
Yeah, I was driving into the choke. Actually,
it probably worked.
But he was like, man, I was really, really uncomfortable. But then after, he was like, I don't know, I just like so tired, and I was like, all right. He's like, choke me out. I was like,
damn.
Fuck.
It was a blue belt?
It was a purple belt.
The most embarrassing submission I've ever been caught with was by Craig, and he hit me with it like 4 times over the ADCC camp. So I would like pass and go mount him, and then he would submit me from bottom mount.
Would he throw the legs over?
No, I would like pass, and I'd have shoulder pressure, and I'd go to drive my knee across.
Ezekiel.
And he would grab behind my head and start trying to do like a front naked choke.
Yeah.
And he would only get it to like here on my neck, so it'd only be like the fist here.
Right.
I'd be like, this isn't tight. There's no way he's gonna get this. And then as I step to mount, he like snakes it in tighter.
Bro,
he tapped me like 3 times.
He literally explained this to us on the episode. He said he does it really shitty at first.
Yeah.
To make you think that it's not going to work, and then he slaps it on super hard.
I don't think I've ever been tapped by that from top.
He
I've definitely
literally-
been like Lucas does that position from top mount, but from me on top, I've never been submitted. So
Yeah, I saw that position, but it was from the UFC fighter. Remember, he was actually on bottom.
Okay, and he did it.
He hit that position. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, it's pretty strong. When I try and do it, it never works, but I don't know how. I don't know.
Craig literally explained that to us on the episode. He's like, I just do it like
no,
this.
and it plays out exactly like that because you're like, oh, this is shitty, and then you go to the mount, and it's like, oh, it's not shitty. Now, it's kind of like Majid's choke. Like if he gets the grips, you need to address it. You don't wait.
You got to respect it.
You got to like get out of there early, and then you won't get caught in it. I got some good training out there, but it was kind of not fun too.
Where'd you stay?
I was staying with my friend David, who's a doctor.
Cool, Dr. Dave
from Unity. Yeah, I had set it up when I went and trained there for Worlds because I spent so much money like on Airbnbs and hotels last time I had to go, so I tried to find someone to hang out with, and he housed me. Super cool guy.
Nice.
I gotta get going.
Yeah, we're coming up on 2 hours.
Yeah,
Lucas, what you want to anything left you want to say to the people? Let me get the camera.
What will you? I have a question. What are you gonna do next time against Gordon? Because that was a very close fight.
It was, man. I feel that I was dominating him for 14 minutes.
You were what?
Did you get tired?
Dominating him for 14 minutes.
You were definitely controlling the pace.
Yeah, of course he wasn't give up. He was really tough. I felt like I was training kind of with you, but he was like a strong version.
Yeah,
a stronger version. Yeah,
but he's
Keenan
good.
with
I know what
muscles.
you mean. He's like good from scrambles and bad positions, kind of.
Yeah, you know, he was when I got his back at the end, and I was trying to take him down. Like that one to gas out because I was trying so many times, like trying to take him down, holding him bottom.
Yeah,
that I was like fuck. And then the last chance, it was like I heard someone like giving it like suplexing, and it was like, all right, I'll try it.
And you tried to suplex
it?
No, he kind of did suplex him.
Yeah,
like he got him up, and it was like a lateral.
It's hard to pick up tall people.
Exactly, but that was after that I should have just have gone to his back or something. But yeah, and then he got me with the back take from the crucifix. It was a really good one. I feel like it was like kind of that fight with Anderson Silva and Charles Sonnen, you know, when you beat the guy he beat the guy for
that's a
three rounds
and
at the
then you
end.
get lost at the end. Yeah.
I bet that's a situation where if you were lighter with better cardio, you would have done better in that matchup.
Yeah.
Because like speed and cardio would really helps there.
For sure.
Because Gordon is a technical fighter. He doesn't use a lot of explosion or speed. Yeah. So you don't need weight really.
Yeah.
It's more about technique, I think.
Uh-huh.
And having said that, I got beat up by Gordon really bad while I was there.
Yeah, I think it was the only guy that gave him a really tough match at ADCC.
Yeah. You were the only person who got to like dominant positions and threaten.
Yeah, like if you see all the other guys, they couldn't have like position that I did on him, but yeah,
I really wish Keenan would have had a chance.
But yeah, I think next time that I will, because every time I fight, like first time I fought him, you know, it was totally different. It was different rules.
It was fight to win, right?
Yeah, fight to win.
Yeah.
It was like I think I was gonna be depending like what kind of role we're gonna fight.
Of course.
Then I will try to plan like what I'm gonna do next. But I feel that it was just as a detail. But
when would you face him again? He's not going to Noogie Worlds.
No, he won't have it. Yeah, we're probably gonna try to face him maybe
super
next
fight,
ADCC or super fight. Maybe.
Get paid.
Yeah,
get paid, man. Make it a super fight.
Yeah, let's see what is the chance. I don't really look like to try to. I really want to fight a guy like after a guy beat me, but not gonna be like, hey man, we should be fighting. You know, we should do that.
Yeah,
like,
you kind of have to wait now.
Yeah, I'll just wait my time. That's what I did.
It's one of those things like go win double gold at Nogi Worlds or something, and then it's like they're ready again. You know,
right?
Like now the matchup is ready.
Yeah,
but I thought it was a great fight.
Yeah, man.
And it was very like you really showed like what you're good at, which is like you can just get there. Like you always can get in on a shot. You can always get to the back, and then it was just he also has really good defense.
Yeah, for sure.
That's what I know. It was so frustrating training with him because like you can get to positions, like you can get to that back body lock, and you can get to like almost on his back, but it's pretty tough to actually secure the positions.
Right.
He's really good at defensively because they do so much of the EBI training.
Yeah,
they literally start from like half the rounds they do there, they're starting from the back, like every day. Yeah. 3 rounds a day, they start from the back.
It's because that I think that's what is the difference between then like against like our game here, because we either train gi or no gi, and sometimes we're like, because they only train no gi.
Yeah.
And they train this specific stuff all the time.
Specific situations that are rare to find in the gi. So it's like
I think that now I'm gonna start training. I'm gonna try to equal both. Like gi and no gi, like try to keep
sharp throughout the year.
Yeah.
For both. Yeah.
Try to compete more and no gi. Like tournaments, super fights as much as I can, so I can keep it like improving in the game on the no-gi game. But
I feel like it's pretty cocky of anyone to go to ADCC and like expect to do really well versus someone who only trains no-gi. Mm-hmm. Because at a certain point, like if everyone's at the same level physically and has the same potential, obviously the guy who does 3 times more no-gi is going to do better in a no-gi tournament.
Yeah, of course.
And should.
95% of the competitors are mainly gi fighters, right? At ADCC, like most of them, very well, maybe not, but like a big amount trains a lot of gi. Yeah. And it's just a big difference. And we were talking earlier, Lucas, about like what they do in no-gi. A lot of their techniques are like very specific to no-gi, like their sweeps, the back takes, all this stuff is like specifically for no-gi, and it doesn't apply in the gi at all. But everyone coming from the gi applies all of their gi moves to the no-gi, and it's like just doesn't really mix anymore.
No.
So you kind of have to learn both, and I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, that's what I'm telling you, because there's some specific. They have some adjustment that they just know because they train specific positions all the time. They try to hit that all the time, and like what we do here, we try to train when we're not on a no-gi season. We try to do the moves like 2 times a week because it's only Tuesday and Thursday the no-gi classes.
Yeah,
but they train every day, and that's why I'm trying. That's what I'm saying. That I'll try to keep drilling more, try to have like more no-gi often on my schedules.
I want to start doing just a bunch of gi super fights.
I'm tired as fuck of no-gi. I'm so done with it.
And today I trained a gi and I was like,
I'm done with no-gi, man.
I hate gi now.
I'm fucking serious?
Yeah, I was like, I don't want to do gi, man.
I told Seth I want super fights.
When I started training no-gi, I started liking it. Like
I did too.
During the camp, I started hating it because I'm like, I want to finish the camp.
Yeah.
But then when it's over, I was like, I want to just keep training no-gi.
Yeah.
It's easier.
You don't want to,
because then you have to it's not
you worked really hard to build it up, your no-gi, and now you don't want to just let it fall off.
Exactly.
Right? You want to maintain.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a tough choice, man.
Yeah.
Like people
to be like a hybrid jiu-jitsu fighter.
Yeah.
I want to keep doing both.
Hybrid, that's the new stuff.
I told Seth that I want more
hybrid wrestlers. That's an old term they used in Japan for like shoot fighters.
Yeah.
They had a slogan, and they had an old tournament called the Contenders, which was like ADCC style rule grappling tournament, kind of like Pride for grappling. It was called the Contenders, and their slogan was "We are hybrid wrestlers."
Hybrid wrestlers.
Hybrid wrestlers.
Wow.
Where are you going after that?
Me? I'm going to Mexico tonight.
Tonight?
Yeah. It's 5 p.m. right now. I got my flight's at 11:30 p.m. It's overnight. I'm going to drive down to the border, walk across the bridge into the airport in Tijuana. And the flight's only $150 to go to Yucatan.
Wow!
So I'm going to Mexico. I'll be there for 10 days, just chilling on a beach eating tacos.
Oh,
hey. 50-cent tacos all day, bro. I'm super excited, man. Yeah. So
is it true that the more dangerous the area, the better the tacos?
I heard the opposite, actually.
Okay. I mean, that would make sense.
The area that I'm going to is considered the safest,
and it's got the best tacos
of Mexico, and it has the best tacos.
That's great, then.
Yeah.
Awesome.
It's a win-win. But people in TJ will tell you, in Yucatan, it's like by Cancun.
Okay.
You know what's funny is JT's going to Cancun too.
Like, oh, really? For vacation?
Like we're going to cross paths maybe, I think, in Cancun. I'm going to go to Chichen Itza and go check out the Mayan pyramid.
So how many American 2-time ADCC champs are there? Dean and JT?
Dean, else? JT, Gordon.
Dean Lister.
Dean.
No, but I thought you guys
no, there's another one. There's another one. Long time ago.
Oh yeah, long time.
So Mark Kerr.
No,
Not
yeah,
that
there's
many.
another one that he won a super
Jeff
fight.
Monson.
No.
No, Jeff Monson's two times.
The guy who
Really?
he made a super fight with old school guy. Where's his
I
name?
mean, I can Google it right now if you guys want.
Isn't it weird?
Rodriguez or something like that.
Isn't it weird how
Rico. You think of Rico Rodriguez?
Yeah,
The big guy that slammed Marcelo?
Yes, exactly.
He's not American.
No. What
Rico
about,
Rodriguez?
What about Drysdale?
I don't know. Maybe he is. No.
Is he fought as an American? Or
I think because Drysdale won the open class, but he didn't win the weight class.
Oh no.
Yeah. Well, there's not
Well,
very
that's
many.
the title, no?
But I think it's interesting how JT, he's like for as long as I've known him, he's been primarily a gi guy,
Yeah.
but he just does so good.
He always dominates
He
no-gi.
just dominates no-gi.
Yeah.
He does really well no-gi. He's no-gi world champion too.
Yeah.
He's got a really good game. For no-gi.
2014, I think.
What is he doing? What does he do no-gi? He's got that really good arm drag double.
The arm drag takedown, it's a single. Is it single or double? It's double.
It's a double, but
yeah.
he hooks the leg.
That's
with
so
the
good,
leg.
man. You know he's going to do it and you can't stop it.
And then he fakes it sometimes and does like a deep, like a super duck around to the back.
Yeah.
Like he shoots it, but then it goes around.
I really like his like mix of wrestling and jiu-jitsu.
JT's phenomenal.
Yeah, he's already have like really good pressure on top. Like,
It's insane, his pressure.
yeah.
Insane. For how small he is, his pressure is insane.
Yeah, I didn't get to train with him. I was gonna go train with him a little bit for the last week I was in New York, but then my eye got it messed up. So I couldn't go.
How did he win over Gary? How did that go down?
He just took him down and controlled him, and I think
Takedowns?
he even took the back or passed.
just points.
Yeah.
Pointed him.
Do the guy try to go like to try to heel hook him? Or I think they can.
It's so
right?
hard because his pressure.
I'm pretty
Exactly.
sure it's
He's-
super hard to leg lock JT.
JT's super good at flattening people out.
Yeah.
You can't get under
Yeah.
him.
He's got crazy strong ankles. Like you can't actually bend his foot.
Right.
Like even for toe holds or anything or straight ankles, his foot will stay.
He'll
booted.
stretch his leg out.
He straightens his leg and just
Yeah.
boots his foot, and you can't bend his foot. Like
Right.
I used to just crank on toe holds on JT trying to bend his foot, and I never could.
Blow out your grips before he even budges.
And even if you heel hook him, it's like his foot doesn't rotate. You just are on his heel trying to twist it, and his foot just stays. It's weird.
JT's a freak,
Yeah,
man.
JT.
He came in here for the last episode. So.
Can you imagine if JT was as loud and obnoxious as Gordon? Like he would be like super famous because of that. Like it would be such a sacrifice to his character. But JT has the skills to back it up.
I can't even imagine.
You can't.
I can't
it's
even
not-
exactly.
He's not like that. But I feel like just JT doesn't get as much notoriety as he should for his level.
2 more fucking ADCC world titles and he's going to pass
seriously.
Marcelo. Like,
Yeah.
he'll be the GOAT.
Yes.
Like in the division, the 77 GOAT if he keeps winning.
I mean, I feel like he already is, but it's just not
because Marcelo won that 77 4 times, right?
really.
Oh really?
Marcelo won 77
times?
4 times.
JT's only just turned 30, I think.
Yeah, he's 29.
Yeah.
Maybe
Okay.
maybe he's 30.
I think he turned 30.
29 or 30. Shout out to the coach JT Torres. He's a fucking stud, and I love him.
Man, I wish I could train with him
JT.
more.
He's the nicest guy ever
I
too.
wish we were local still.
With so much talent and so much humility.
And he just trains with his students, dude. He's another one of the crazy, like,
Right.
apparently when you open a gym and you only train with your students, you just kill it.
That's what Galval did when he won his double gold.
Homolo, Braulio, Cabrina, everyone did that.
But yeah.
That's it. I'm opening an academy.
You got to open an academy if you want to be
That's
the
what
best.
I'm going to do it next year.
That's sometimes that I'm scared of, like trying to open academies and try to deal with this training, like deal with
You need-
trainings.
you need
because,
someone
like,
you
I
need a
don't- I
manager.
don't know if I'm gonna have enough training like to keep
Right.
to keep myself on the
But
top.
I mean, if you look at who
the
JT was
highest
training with,
level.
he wasn't training with
Yeah,
like
I think it depends the way you train, like building your training. Because now, because we have so many tough guys here at the Atos HQ, Galvão cannot do the same training that he was doing like 2 ADCCs ago. You know, because he was only getting Shark Tank by the guys because the
Right.
guys were not tough enough. But now,
it's just normal
here,
rounds.
yeah, he
You can
have
just
to
roll.
like deal like he was training like 2 times. Maybe he was getting like 2 tough guys, and the rest he was like going with like regular guys, you know,
Right.
because
now he can because
he can't do like all
They're hard enough.
all the rounds like that, man. He'd
Yeah.
probably get hurt, you know, like
Yeah, he can't go with you, kind of
He would-
Gustavo, Josh, all in a row.
exactly.
It's like
you
too
cannot
much.
do that.
You can't.
I think that's how like you have to build your training like depending like how
I feel like you can do that in the gi though.
What do you mean?
Like you can train with all the tough guys in a row in the gi, but no gi, I think it's too hard.
yeah, maybe.
I don't know why. I don't know. Maybe you can't. I don't
Yeah,
remember
I
if I ever
think
did
I think
that.
so. It depends on the style too. I don't think I can do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
But
For some reason,
I got like the different. I got like, I changed my mind. Like like training on the ADCC style. I feel that I can do it more now because I usually do short rounds. Like now I can do like 5 rounds and that's it. I cannot do more than that. In training ADCC, that you have to push to your limit. Like that you don't think like, man, I cannot do 20 minutes straight. I just started doing 20 minutes straight fighting, like because I used to train with you, like we used to go like 2-3 rounds in a row, but we have like 1 minute rest and then we go again and then 1 minute rest and then go again like 2-3 rounds in a row. And I could make it 20 minutes, but this was like 20 minutes just intense, like non-stop.
Straight, yeah.
And it was like, man.
But you did it.
Yeah. I was like, man.
I mean, you can adapt to it.
I think I can do this on a gi too.
Yeah.
I think that's what now I changed.
You've expanded your mind to realize your potential.
Like,
you can do anything, Lucas.
I can roll like
you could roll an hour.
Yeah.
Lucas, how old are you? 27?
I'm 27. Same age as Keenan.
Yeah, we're the same age.
I'm probably like 2 weeks.
What's your the 13th?
13th, yeah.
Yeah, you're older than me.
Yeah, 2 weeks older.
2 weeks.
Yeah.
Dang, I'm 37.
Ugh. But that's good news for us. Can you imagine Lucas in 10 years? How massive he's going to be? He's just going to keep stacking muscle, dude.
I don't think Lucas. Hey, we can tell everybody about your injury now that you tore that muscle on the bottom of your foot. In case anyone was wondering, Lucas.
Oh, is that why your feet were taped?
Yeah,
he taped up his feet
because I was like a week before the ADCC, I was training with Keenan, and we were like going for takedowns, and I was just trying to shoot. And one of this, the time I was shooting, I felt like my knee, not my knee,
the bottom of the foot.
The bottom of the foot, like
tearing.
He tore the muscle on the bottom of his foot.
And I kind of like felt like
he collapsed.
Yeah, and I fell to it. I was like, what the fuck? And it was like hurting, like burning.
Wow.
And I couldn't finish like the train. And the next day was like a big
purple,
bruise.
bro. It was the whole bottom of his foot was purple the next day.
Man, and I wasn't. I was. That's why I was training with the wrestling shoes to see.
Oh, I saw you in wrestling shoes.
Yeah,
I was like, damn, Lucas is cool. He's wearing wrestling shoes.
Everybody was like thinking that I was.
You're a wrestler.
I was trying to look a badass, but
it did look badass. Though.
Yeah,
nothing looks cooler than a guy in wrestling.
I think the guy's not gonna.
I think the only way you could look cooler than that is if you were in singlet and trained jiu-jitsu.
He was considering wearing the shoes in the tournament.
Oh yeah,
but then he's like, no, I'm gonna get heel hooked.
Yeah, I wonder how that engages with heel hooks. Probably hard to get your foot free at all.
But imagine how good your takedowns would be, and like if you could just land some good positions and stick it.
What if it's like that guy in one of the first UFCs who just wore one boxing glove? What if you wear just one wrestling shoe on your shot foot, on your driving foot?
Like, I wonder if you could make a lot more pressure from the top position with those shoes, like pushing off the mats.
I mean, it's not often that you feel slippery in a tournament. No. Mats.
I felt some good points of having the wrestling shoes. Like I felt that I could hook it like the guy's leg, and when they try to like bring you to the single leg X, and I felt like I was every time they were hooking, they couldn't like take like it was kind of trapped on the thigh, and they could like take my leg.
But when I was
Brimbola, also I feel my Brimbola is way stronger
with the it hooks on their hip.
Yeah, it was not sliding.
That's funny,
bro. We should do a training session with wrestling shoes.
Yeah. So I think I told you I have a sick idea how we all need to train no gi, but we train in street clothes. But no gi, and you can grip the clothes.
Yeah, you told me this. We should do it.
So we're all gonna wear like t-shirts and shorts, but you train no gi, but you can grab the t-shirts and shorts.
It's like a street fight.
Like a street fight.
Jiu-jitsu street fight.
Oh yeah.
So
without punching.
No punching.
But can we choke each other?
Yes, you can choke it with the material.
T-shirt and shorts.
You just wear a sturdy t-shirt that we think won't break or rip, and then you train, and it's like we're gonna show that gripping is still a functional part of what would happen in a real street fight situation.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
And so I learned about this from
a cool video.
A gym. It's called Optimus.
And then we can go to downtown and practice it.
But like, think about that. So like, if you're wearing clothes, we'd quickly figure out like what grips are strong with like gripping the t-shirt and like what chokes you can do and what like who knows if you can even do like throws and stuff. But we'll figure it out. And then if you ever get in an altercation and you know you can just get your freaking grip and just fucking Kouchi someone real easy because you have a short grip.
I don't remember who was it, but I it was kind of like it happened like this happened like like some guy from the gym. I think it was Pete. I don't know. He went to the downtown. And they were like,
Pete O'Neill.
Yeah, they were partying, and then they started like arguing with this guy on the street, and they went to a fight. And Pete just pulled on the guy, and he hooked the guy.
Oh my god!
Yeah, and the guy just started. It was just screaming like ah! He started tapping.
Pete heel hook someone in a street fight.
Yeah, I think so. I think it was Pete. I'm not sure.
Oh my god!
Yeah,
yeah.
So that what happened, and yeah, and then he let the guy go. Actually, he didn't let the guy go. They have like someone was with him. And
Nick
like,
was with him.
Yeah,
Nick. Yeah.
Yeah, he separated the fight and like they stopped the fight and like hey. It was
that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
That's what's funny. That's why I always take a really aggressive stance for people who say that sport jiu-jitsu guys are like don't know how to self-defend themselves or that sport jiu-jitsu doesn't work on the street. But I actually know sport jiu-jitsu fighters, like I don't want to name their names because they literally have just like wrecked people in the street by pulling guard or doing sport jiu-jitsu moves because it's just you have so much control over someone unless their buddy's there to punt you in the head, which is bad.
I think even if you use the basic jiu-jitsu like to be the guys,
yeah,
because we're
so
like
little.
the guys that don't know jiu-jitsu,
yeah.
And even like if they use the basic moves, we still can beat up the guys.
Yeah, I've always wanted to do like a video at the beach where you set up like a little booth or something on the sand. $20 if you can like take me down or like make me submit UFC style, and you hope make them sign something that says they're not going to try and punch you in the face and they're not going to sue you. But then like you just like do only sport jiu-jitsu moves against random white belts on the street. So it's like you only berimbolo or you only do like worm guard with their shirt, or like, just to like prove that you could like do something with it. Yeah,
it's the Brawlers Beach Challenge.
Yeah, that would be so fun. But I feel like you'd just be piled in lawsuits after
maybe
a day. But it would be so funny to do. But the second step below that would be to have a hot weather day and a cold weather day of the no-gi, but with the clothes on.
Hoodies change everything.
So like you do a hot weather day, it's like board shorts and a t-shirt. Cold weather day, pants and a jacket.
Jeans and a hoodie.
Yeah, jeans and a hoodie, yeah. Man, hoodies are not going to rip.
No.
Like you could grip sleeves, you could do spider.
Yeah, they're thick.
Pants, they're not going to rip.
What is the point of this?
Just to train jiu-jitsu for how it would be in a street fight.
Oh, okay.
Because you'd be wearing clothes, and it's not like Nogi's argument is that Nogi is more like a street fight, but you're not going to fight someone who's like in bad boy fight shorts, shirtless. Like it's not realistic. What's realistic is them wearing a hoodie and pants. So no one trains that.
Yeah, usually I would just take my shirt off and go, fight the guy.
That's why you got to train Nogi too. So that's the point. Like, but in a situation where it's cold and someone's wearing a hoodie and you're getting accosted by them and it's a self-defense situation, they're attacking you. The gi is going to serve you better. Like gi training will serve you better in that situation.
Oh, I got it.
Because you can grip them. But I think it'd just be fun. So like I'll just have like a big bucket of like clothes that like I wash and everyone just comes and grabs one to wear for the no-gi training.
I think it'd be super cool.
It sounds fun. I want to do it.
Joe, we got to wrap this up.
Yeah.
Lucas, shout out your sponsor, whatever.
Bad Boy.
Cool. Good talk.
Right. What else? Josh Inger, Keenan Cornelius. Thanks, guys, for
thanks for coming in.
Oh man,
you can come anytime, dude.
Yeah, to be late.
We'll do it again.
Yeah, people. After doing the first podcast, I feel kind of like, it was a little bit pressured. I had to come back.
He was nervous.
Because
Did you listen to it?
No, but people was like, "Hey, you should go back to the podcast." Like
it gets
really
easier when you give some practice.
Because I was telling him that I was like doing some podcasts before, and I was like feeling kind of like
he was nervous.
I was like, a little bit nervous.
You can't think about like what you're gonna sound like. You just got to be yourself, and it's hard to do that naturally right off the bat for sure.
This is the real Lucas.
Exactly.
This one, this is a real one.
But you should just come sit in whenever we do them, dude.
Three people is always
like the more the merrier. We can have as many people as we want.
Yeah. But I got to shout out the VHTS.Europe for sponsoring this episode. Thank you guys. Check them out at VHTS.Europe. And if you live in Europe, obviously you should buy gis from them because it's too expensive to buy from the US.
Yeah, and also I want yoga for BJJ.net.
Yoga for jiu-jitsu. You corrected me last time.
It's not yoga for the website is called yoga for BJJ.net.
But we said .com.
Yeah, it's not .com.
It's not .com.
I feel that I have to start doing yoga.
It's really good.
You definitely need yoga.
Like, I'm not flexible enough.
It's at a certain point. It's like we all avoid stretching, but it's very valuable, and it's like it's like an extra step you can do to help improve.
Yeah,
and like help you.
That. I'm gonna start. I'm gonna try to. Well,
if you wanna sign up, to learn some yoga for BJJ. It's at yogaforbjj.net, and if you use the coupon code MATBURN
with a capital M,
capital M, no space, MATBURN, capital M, no space. But I'm pretty sure it's 10% off.
I don't know.
You get 30% off. It's actually 30% off, I think. It's a big discount.
You get a discount.
And they have single-handedly really helped me with my neck injury too. So they're really good for rehab as well as like flexibility and yogi stuff.
Yes.
And like meditation. So check them out.
And
then,
I got to give a shout out to sorry. Go ahead.
I was just going to say also to my sponsors because I haven't done anything for them in a while.
I'll allow it.
Hyperfly and Timeless CBD both sponsor me.
Oh, you got a CBD sponsor?
Do you have a CBD sponsor?
I'm with CBD Distillery.
You have a CBD sponsor?
I don't have.
Do you like CBD? Have you tried it?
No, I tried a couple. You know,
I've been taking a lot for my eye, and it's been helping me sleep.
Oh yeah.
My promo code.
Oh.
CBD Distillery promo code Josh10.
Yeah, I don't have a coupon code for Timeless CBD, but they're on Instagram, Timeless CBD, and I'm not sure the website, but I'll get that. And then Hyperflies, they make the best geese.
I'm gonna give a shout out to Sasha Pentagraft, the guy that taped up ankle Lucas.
Man,
he was the medic.
Man.
He was the medic for the entire ADCC.
He did a good job.
And he did a really awesome tape job for Lucas multiple times.
I couldn't. I got really surprised about that.
Nah, he's really good.
Techniques with the tape. I was like, man, I feel that like every tape that I do, I'm gonna be cheating now because because that guy, he was like, I was really like, hurt on the back of my foot, like right on the bottom of my foot, and that he fixed it everything. I didn't feel anything.
Yeah, he's good. He sponsored. He sponsored the podcast a few episodes ago. He has I don't forget whose episode it was, but his company is called Medico Legal, and he basically does legal work. He does the medical side of what's the word I'm looking for? I don't want to say research, but like when there's a lawsuit and they need a medical professional, that's what he does. Yeah. So he works with lawyers who are working on their
interesting
a case, like a medical case, and Sasha's kind of the
so like if there's like an injury, work injury or something, and they're suing someone.
Yeah, something like that.
What happened to Sam the tax guy and
they're around. I don't know.
They're around.
Yeah. So anyways, shout out to Sasha and check out his Instagram. Sasha, I wish I had it in front of me. I don't have it. Pentagraphed. Medicolegal.com.
Cool, guys. Thanks for letting me come into your house with my infectious eye disease.
Yeah.
You probably have immunities to it.
Well, I'm going to Mexico in 3 hours, so I don't.
You can get out of here.
I'm not going to touch anything you've touched. I'm just going to disappear.
No, I washed my hands before I came in, and then I haven't touched my face with my hands since I've only been using this.
But you've touched your dirty
towel.
You've touched your.
But this
dirty
is a
towel.
fresh towel. I brought it fresh just to be extra clean.
All right, guys, check out the Shopify store, the Matburn Shopify store. Go buy some stuff.
You can buy a mug.
Yeah, you can buy a mug. I got a new hoodie up there with a cool skull design.
Do you still have the sandals?
The what? The sandals? Yeah, the sandals are still there too. Yeah, I got some flip flops up there. There's a lot of stuff, it's just whatever. It's a mishmash of products. Go check it out. Support the podcast. And thanks for listening, guys.
Cool.
We went this is the longest episode I've ever done.
Yeah, because we had a special guest come in at the last 30 minutes.
It's all good though.
Yeah, to make it work.
All right, guys.
You got to press stop recording.
I'll do that right now.
Just I
want to say goodbye to my people.
Hook smash.
Bye, guys.